Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. All that time. No one else saw. Every sprint in the summer. Think of every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering. Is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time. Caveman on the line. HG got the stats.
No filters, no suits, just facts on blast.
He seems like no nonsense guy. Like
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman. What did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now.
Marshawn
Lattimore's gone, so the defense, like we're not getting any better.
To the left, got the edge and grind. We break it all
get it into
down
Smith.
like
What a pass! That's it! Daniel Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball in.
We roar from the base to the backfield floor. No filters, no fake control. We run
Real
the
year.
plays,
Like you have one of you have the best quarterback in the league, arguably, the best wide receiver in the league, and you've got the best edge rusher in terms of total sacks this season. You're 4-7, and your playoff chances are hanging on that.
HG on deck, stats loaded and primed. Reading the field.
Let's make it interesting.
We're making it interesting. Come on. Give us the freaking one.
Breaking down ball like a heat wave blade.
Oh, let's go! Oh, no. Did not
We see through the hype. Call out the Warriors.
So don't you go saying that you're never going to see that. You're such a hater.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
For your
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle, everybody.
The
Boys are back, and I think we got to coin this show. This is the greatest football show on Facebook Live. HG, what do you think?
I could not
I
agree
think
more.
that's a perfect title for the show. You got to crowning it today. But we got a great episode of Football Frenzy as the Broncos take the number 1 seed, lock it up after a Bills loss. The Saints, well, not in the playoff picture, but we're throwing a wrench in the NFC South bracket right now, and I'm loving it.
We
On
got
the other side, though,
the Commanders Cup bowl season started. College football playoffs to break down.
that's what I was going to say. Our rundown's going to be a little quick because it's only 2 games.
Yeah.
We only got the 2 games. We got our HBCU Bowl, South Carolina State and Prairie View A&M in the Cricket Celebration Bowl. That one was 4 or 5 overtimes.
4 overtimes. Dang. South Carolina State ends up taking it 40-38. And then you had the Bucked Up LA Bowl, which was between Washington and Boise State. And Washington just absolutely
beat the crap out of
dismantles Boise State. And then we also, that same day, we'll probably save the best for last because it was the Commanders Cup, Army, Navy. The uniforms were sick. The military flyovers and everything were sick. The cadets, the sailors were all jumping. They were all hyped. We had another good game. Went down to the wire. Navy wins back-to-back, though, and squeaks out a 1-point victory over Army. Yeah, we'll start with the LA Bowl just to quickly kind of put
cover this beatdown.
A cherry on top of Washington's season. I mean, I gotta say, it was a pretty successful year too in the Big 12 for Washington.
Yeah, 9-4 ain't bad.
Yeah, they were, I think, right around 500 last year, so they ended up finishing 9-4. A good bowl win. And, you know, that's a team that's kind of picking up the pieces and rebuilding slowly from a national championship roster that or a team that went to the national championship and then lost obviously a ton of talent to the draft. Their head coach Kalen DeBoer goes to Alabama, and so
got drafted.
Yeah, quarterback, like 3 wide receivers, a ton of guys off of that team.
It looks like a long road ahead, but some light at the end of the tunnel. Defense got 5 picks on the day. Maddox Batson had a 4.4 QBR in this game. He didn't play the whole thing. He only had 17 passes.
I think he ended up getting hurt. And then, the guy that came in to replace him, it was
Max Cutforth.
Yeah, I was all Washington early in this one. 21 points in the second quarter to go up 24-3 at halftime, and then they just coasted to a victory. Sophomore quarterback and Damon Williams coming back there. Huskies were definitely a tough play at home. You've got guys like Denzel Boston may declare for the draft, but they do still have a year or so of eligibility left. Good. It was a good 38-10 victory to cap off what was a very successful season against the Mountain West champions and the Boise State Broncos.
Got the dub.
All right. And then we had the Cricket Celebration Bowl. Absolute thriller here.
Putting on for the HBCUs and the smaller schools.
Yeah.
Look at this Prairie View A&M quarterback, man. 24-36, 412, 4 touchdowns.
Absolutely slinging it. Yeah. Neither team was really running the ball all too well. You look at, dude, Prairie View, the receivers, obviously, they had several guys eating, with their quarterback throwing for over 400. Andre Dennis,
crazy.
7 balls, 131 in the touch. Cameron Bonner didn't catch the football often, but he made the most of it with a 78-yard reception. Josiah Rockwell, 6 grabs for 77 yards and a touchdown. The other side, Jordan Smith for the South Carolina State, that receiver, he had 9 catches, 152 yards, and 2 touchdowns. South Carolina State just slightly better on the ground, 78 rushing yards. They also had 3 rushing touchdowns.
They had to get it done by committee.
Yeah, a lot of different guys carrying the football.
It looks like Prairie View A&M's offense on the run game is just running it with Cameron Peters. because he led in carries, yards, and got one on the ground. 5 total touchdowns for him on the day. Dang.
Yeah. Honestly, Prairie View was leading this game 21-0 at halftime, and then they led up.
Ooh, ugly second half.
Yeah, their defense really fell apart there in the second half. South Carolina was only down 7 going into the fourth quarter. They scored 2 touchdowns to take the lead. Prairie View was able to tie it up and send it into overtime. They just weren't able to get it done in OT. And they just had a tough time keeping possession of the ball in the second half. Drives were sputtering out a bit more there, and just gave the Bulldogs more of a shot to come back in this one.
They made it a game though. Man, 21-point third quarter, 14 points in the fourth.
Yeah,
to tie up the game, send it to overtime.
It was
a game.
It was a crazy game, that is for sure. All right.
Just clean offense, clean passing offense from both teams, really.
Not really a lot of turnovers on either side. I think there was like 1 interception, 1 fumble for like one team threw a pick, one team had a fumble. That was it. Like, so it wasn't like a bunch of turnovers or anything. Just just some unstoppable offense.
Yeah, really. Only one interception for South Carolina State.
All right. Well, Army Navy, a game I know a lot of our veteran viewers want to hear us talk about. It was another good one. Sound off in the comments if you're a vet watching. Were you Army, Navy, or what branch you were in, and who you were rooting for in this one?
I don't know how it was so close, dude. Look at their third down efficiency compared to each other. It's a 1-point game, and Army is 3 for 10 on third down, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't even.
It was a little bit of the inverse of last year, where Army was this like super hot team with double-digit wins.
They were both really good last year.
Yeah, that's true. But this year, like last year, all the focus was on Bryson Daly, and this year it was on Blake Horvath. But Cale Helms, an underclassman, I think he's only a junior, or he is a junior. Yeah, so not an underclassman, but finally getting into that starting role. First time starter, and he was kind of stealing the show there from Horvath for a little bit, but eventually the Navy offense really got it going, and they had the late takeaway that was huge. And this one, they kind of got Army into a 3rd and long, forced them to throw the ball. And obviously these two teams, they're going to run the ball a lot.
It's ball control teams right here. That wing tee.
Like I would say, I mean, there were some pretty good throws from both quarterbacks in this one.
The last 2 seasons with both of these offenses have really brought like a new style along with their old school play that they bring. Like
you look at both of their passing stats too, like very similar. 50% completion percentage, both threw for 82 yards, and each guy had an interception. Horvath with the edge though by getting a touchdown. Yeah, that was kind of Army's Achilles heel, and this one just their inability to finish some drives in the end zone. They settled for field goals a little more than you would have liked. They just weren't. They had some good opportunities to really start to pull away, and they were never really able to keep Navy more than arm's length away. And then a late fourth quarter drive that they got going. And then I'm just scratching my head about like what the defensive strategy was here, because you kind of just had Eli Hendrickson run like basically a skinny post concept from
wide
the slot
open into that zone.
And I mean, you've got a safety covering Like he's not really playing the middle of the end zone like that. Like you've got one safety kind of just dropping over to the corner end zone. You've got the cornerback playing with inside leverage when he doesn't have outside leverage when he doesn't have any help to the inside. So it was just
you're in the red zone. That
Yeah,
inside leverage is
and I mean, like,
in more than anything.
when they've thrown the ball, all but one time it went to this guy, and you're giving him a very favorable one-on-one look right down the middle of the field. It was head scratching defense.
Yeah. I think even like a
To say the
contested
least.
catch right there, he was just you outsized the corner. He would have still went up and got that ball. It was like a tight end on a receiver. Right?
Yeah, I mean that was
A tight end on the corner.
I mean Horvath knew where he was going the whole time, and he took the snap, hit his drop, and just fired it.
Let it go. Yeah, that's an easy throw. Like, I don't know, that safety in the middle, like they had 3 in the end zone.
That was on 4th
2
and
on opposite corners and 1 in the middle, and the safety in the middle just let everything.
that was on 4th and goal, wasn't it? Or 3rd and goal? I think it was 4th and goal though, if I remember correctly. And yeah, just like, I mean, I don't know. Like that's when they've thrown the ball, like Eli Heidenreich's the guy that's been beating you all game through the air. If they're gonna throw it, like I would make them go to somebody else. But they gave Horvath exactly the look he wanted.
It was 4th and goal.
And he took advantage of it.
4th and goal on their own 8.
Right. So obvious passing situation and everything. Strange call. Another great addition of the Commanders Cups. Which uniforms did you like the best?
Ooh. Honestly, I love the silver on the Army, but I think just the fact that every single Navy helmet this year was hand painted with like the photo of a ship on the side.
The USS Constitution.
Yeah. The Navy uniforms got it this year. Navy uniforms got it. I think last year Army took it with the Ace of Spades one.
Yeah.
That concept was really cool. Good shout out to that. Those Army Rangers, but that was sick.
I'll say I think overall, just like as a combination, Army had the better uniforms, but the Navy helmets were so sick.
Those are sick.
Yeah. Those are really good.
Painted one by one.
Whether you were, no matter who you're rooting for, I mean, you got to agree, like they didn't disappoint with the helmets again.
The last 2 seasons,
it's been
sick helmets, sick uniforms, and they're changing them every year with a new piece of like military history from the Navy or the Army. So
yeah,
keep your eyes out for that.
That's what I like too. Is like they're incorporating military history,
into
the uniforms. It was really cool, and again, really good game. So Navy's got 2. This is the 2 in a row, I think.
Yeah, they got them last year.
Well, I do believe Army won the year prior to that. So we'll see where these 2 teams are at next year, and we look forward to it. Again, it's too bad we weren't able to do a stream for it this year like we did last year. But I unfortunately had to work.
Me too. That's one of my longer days. I was starting my shift at 10 a.m.
Yeah. Got to watch the first half mostly uninterrupted, and then it was I was in it too.
Yeah, we had it on off to the side for some of our residents that are veterans, which was cool. We gave out the rest of those gift baskets. Me and Joel on Wednesday night. We gave out the rest of the gift baskets to all the residents before dinner.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Joel got to meet everybody. He was hanging out, chatting with all the residents for a little bit before he dipped. And then I was serving up dinner, but MBR logos are running around in the Golden Lodge. Now, they got the beaker ducks on their bags, and it had one of those little ducks in every bag too. So
Very nice.
We're all around the building, man.
Dude, let's go. All right, well, Cameron, let's get into some bowl season before we talk a little college football playoff. Are there any bowls that are jumping out to you? Just for some matchups that I think will be interesting.
Maybe this Memphis NC State. We're just getting another. Well, no, that's not another conference game. That might be a pretty decent matchup right there.
So,
the
very
Xbox
explosive
Bowl looks
offense.
fun. Missouri State, Arkansas State.
All right, one
not
of
the greatest
newcomers.
teams, but we got a newcomer in. I didn't know they were allowed to get a bowl this year.
I like that with the 68 Ventures Bowl because you got Delaware, another newer team to the FBS, getting some of their first bowl action against Louisiana. Let's see. Where to go? Louisville, Toledo, I think might be interesting. Just like
Boca Raton Bowl.
Toledo's got a solid team. Louisville was sort of struggling down the stretch there. I mean, maybe a little MAC upset there on a Power 5 school. That might be fun to see. That's coming up 2 days, but that'll be 2 days before Christmas. On Christmas Eve, the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl, actually featuring Hawaii, who had a really good season in the Mountain West, and Cal, who had a pretty solid year, all things considering, with their roster and everything, and the ACC. So definitely some talent there. I think that one that'd be an intriguing bowl to keep an eye on.
This one
going for Hawaii in that one.
Pitt, East Carolina, the Go Bowling Military Bowl. They're both 8-4. East Carolina was in that conversation in the end of the season to try and make a case for the American. They just let too many slip. So this one could be a pretty cool matchup. Two teams, pretty solid offenses.
Nice.
The quarterback for East Carolina had 3,300 yards, 19 touchdowns this year.
I'm seeing that same day you got the Bad Boy Mowers Bowl, which is I love the name.
Heck yeah.
Intriguing matchup though. It's Penn State and Clemson, which I know are if you were watching us at the beginning of our season, our buddy Mohawk Wyatt, that was his national championship prediction. Obviously, both of those two teams had very disappointing seasons. But hey, Mohawk, you're getting a postseason matchup between those two schools. Matt Campbell coming in as the head coach there for Penn State. Be interesting to see how those two teams look. Games played at Yankee Stadium, it looks like, which will be cool. And yeah, I mean, it'll just be kind of interesting.
Heck, I'm looking for,
dude. Oh yeah,
BYU, Georgia Tech.
This was supposed to be Notre Dame, and they that's weird. Supposed to be Notre Dame, and they obviously threw a tantrum and backed out of it, and they're not going to do it because they're just so below playing in the bowl game.
They eat their soup out of a cup.
Yeah,
they eat cereal and soup out of a cup. They don't like bowls.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen those memes? It's just like people pouring cereal on the counter. They're like,
how Notre Dame eats their cereal. It's really funny. Well, good for Georgia Tech. They get to play BYU in the Pop-Tart Bowl. And I mean, Notre Dame. I'm just thinking maybe you're scared, to take on BYU. And what the heck, guys? That would have been a fire matchup between those two teams. I think it'll still be a good one here. And yeah, I mean, the Pop-Tart Bowl has been really a spectacle ever since it started. And so I'm looking forward to.
The trophy is just it's a football shaped toaster
and then you eat like a live Pop-Tart. It's crazy, dude. The traditions are crazy. It's always a good time though. 1:30 Mountain Time on ABC. That's Saturday, December 27th. Tune into that one. Army's taking in on UConn in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. One of the two service academies to make that, the other make a bowl this year, the other being Navy. Bit of a down year for Air Force. In North Texas versus San Diego State that same day could be an intriguing matchup.
Yeah, that one could be pretty good.
Yeah, you've got mean, those are just some two really impressive Power 5 teams.
LSU, Houston.
That's
in the Texas Bowl. So Houston will be playing in Houston, Texas.
Lane Kiffin's.
Dang, dude.
Lane Kiffin, will he be coaching in this game? Like, what do the Tigers got? Also got Virginia, Missouri, some two in the Tax Slayer Bowl. I mean, just some two really solid Power 5 teams going up against each other there. Tennessee, Illinois were two squads that had kind of up and down years. You know, who will finish? Looking to see who will finish off in the good one there. You've got Iowa and Vanderbilt. The real
I didn't even see that one.
Two teams that
could end his career with a bang.
Right, two teams that finished in the top 25, and this one. So this down in Tampa, Florida, on New Year's Eve. That should be a good matchup. We'll be watching that. ACC champion Duke Blue Devils, which is just ridiculous to say. We'll be taking on Arizona State, and then but later that day, Michigan, Texas.
Yeah, that's the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. Michigan, Texas.
This game definitely some of the wind taken out of the sails just because of the Sharon Moore scandal and all the controversy going on around Texas. Or not around Texas, but around Michigan. But Arch Manning already said he's coming back. So, hey, Arch, let's see what you got in this bowl game and see what your, what the Longhorns are going to look like next year with you there.
He's going to have his boy Ryan Wingo again. And, I mean, we saw some flashes from him.
Yeah.
That dude's insane. So, the two of them next year would be a nice connection.
Oh. Rounding out that day, the Distribution Bowl. Utah, Nebraska. I think that could be a solid matchup. I think
be pretty good.
I don't know. Utah might actually crush it now that I think about it. Navies, they're not playing another game until the new year. January 2nd, they have Cincinnati in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. We'll keep an eye on that one, see who comes out of that one. Your Wildcats, Caveman, got SMU in the Trust and Will Bowl.
This is actually going to be a good game. Yeah. Arizona SMU will be that's going to be a good one. We got the second team in the ACC. This will be a good culture win. Arizona can build on that for next year because they really could have been in the conversation for the Big 12. They
were two silly losses against Houston and BYU. Two very winnable games that they kind of let slip. And they would have been in a totally different conversation. Especially that would have been another loss for BYU. So, I mean, and you could have been looking at a potentially only 1 or 2 loss Arizona team. All right, well, let's get to the college football playoff. Starting this Friday. Excuse me.
I love it.
Between Bama.
Love it that they're starting early.
And Oklahoma. That'll be our first game. I mean, Oklahoma will be hosting this one. This is going to be another low-scoring affair, I think. I'd be interested to see, which team's offense is going to show up a little bit in this one. I mean, both squads just look so stagnant in the depth offensively.
Deflated the last 3 weeks.
Alabama was looking very explosive. Ryan Williams, he's really been quiet for him. And then John Mateer, it just hasn't been as effective throwing the football, which has hurt his effectiveness running it. I think Oklahoma does still have a championship caliber defensive front, which I think will be the big difference in this one. They really got after the Tide last game and caused a lot of turnovers. Bama is a 1.5 point favorite, but I'm leaning more towards Oklahoma in this one.
I'm going Alabama. I just think that their defense is going to be able to make this game too one-dimensional. If they can build a lead, they're not going to care if Blaylock and John Mateer are getting a bunch of rushing yards and keeping that clock working.
All right, here we go. I'm going to get I'll write down our CFP round 1 prediction. So I'm
going with Alabama, man, but this is going to be freaking close, dude, because Mason Thomas, who's 6.5 sacks on the year as their edge rusher. They got that insane linebacker Kip Lewis on Oklahoma. Like, they're going to be nasty. And they still got pretty much an 1,000-yard receiver with Isaiah Satenga at Oklahoma. So even though it seems like their passing offense hasn't been that great, they still could get something going.
Very true. All right.
I'm scared, man. This is going to be such a good game. I'm going with Alabama, though.
I'm going to disagree. I actually don't even think this is going to be that good of a game. I think it'll just be close.
Just be a close,
because both teams are just struggling right now. They just limped into the postseason. All right. Our first game on the following Saturday, December 20th, will be between number 10 Miami and number 7 Texas A&M. A little concerned about the Aggies, the way they finished the season against Texas after looking so good all year and looking like they were shooing for a bye and everything. And it should have been an easy make for them in the college football or to the SEC championship. I do think they've gotten some rest, maybe a bit of a wake-up call after that loss to Texas. I think they'll bounce back here round one against Miami. I was confident in them to win the SEC this year, and they got so close, just weren't able to pull it off. I think they'll advance though to the next round.
I'm going with A&M as well here. It seems like a pretty even matchup when you look at these two quarterbacks, both 25 touchdowns, 10 picks, around 3,000 yards on the season. I think Marcel Reed's dual threat ability is just going to be the edge and the X factor in this game because he has the ability to have a 400 scrimmage yard game, 150 on the ground, 300 in the air, and 4 total touchdowns. I think that they had a huge wake up call against Texas, and their defense is gonna step up big in this one and just really put Carson Beck in a lot of pressure. They can get after him. We've seen it. Saw it last year in the playoffs. Saw it a little bit in the regular season this year in their losses. Get some pressure on him, and you make him face some adversity a lot throughout the game, and you can beat him. So I'm going with A&M, bounce back victory, get into the second round.
Nice. All right. We got
Tulane
and Old Miss.
Oh.
I mean,
what is this coachless team?
What is Old Miss going to look like? Right.
Still got the huge edge.
I do think, that was a super talented squad all season. They still got a great quarterback, a great running back, tons of weapons on offense and defense. I think they'll probably. I'm going to have to go Old Miss. I want to pick the upset, but even with the head coaching vacancy and the kind of weird departure that happened there, Old Miss is just they just got too stacked of a roster.
They're just the better team.
I think Tulane can keep this closer than people might expect, but I don't think they can pull off the win here. Then 5-12. I think this is the team with the most pressure, which is JMU.
Yeah.
Against Oregon, just because there are a lot of people that are unhappy about the auto bid and them even being in here.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, it's not their fault. I'm sorry.
They won 12 games and they also won the conference. They did what they needed to do.
The group of 5 cannot just they can't just be punished for being a group of 5 school, they fit the criteria to make it. And there was other Power 5 schools that did not. They failed to meet that criteria. Sure, with a BYU or Notre Dame or Utah, Texas, Vanderbilt, take your pick, whatever. maybe make this be a more interesting game against Oregon, perhaps. But Group of Five is part of the NCAA too. They
did what they needed to do to make the college football playoff. Which is,
I mean, they're constantly having their players poached by Power Four conference. All their best players are poached. They're always constantly trying to rebuild year after year. Their coaches are always taken. And then, I mean, it's like when they're successful and they win a lot of games and then they get into a position like this, they're ruining the sport and everything. It's like, no, I mean, part of what makes this game great is underdogs overcoming and huge odds. And we're just not going to get that if they don't get to be in here. So I'm not mad about JMU making it.
We're getting the opportunity to see a major upset in this team's history.
That being said, I am still going with Oregon. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm going with Oregon. They got the top 5 prospect quarterback, guy that could be going in the top 5, top 10.
I think he's
in this draft.
I think he's only a sophomore too. So I think we got at least one more year of eligibility with Dante Moore. And then but he's going to be, he's one of the better passing court, just pocket passers that as a college prospect that we got right now. And I think this is one of the better defenses that Oregon's had in years. So
I'm going with Oregon too. Hopefully, I hope that we are wrong and an upset happens. But I think Oregon's just got the better team here. It's going to be hopefully not a blowout.
All right. Hopefully they can make it competitive.
It's an away game. It's literally hosted by Oregon. This is like the biggest game in this JMU players' careers. There's going to be a story. Even if they lose and get blown out, man, they're telling everybody and their family and their kids. That's a lifelong story that they're getting right here, playing in just this one game. I mean, against all odds, our team won 12 games, won the Sun Belt, and made the damn college football playoffs. And 2021 to 2023, who is their head coach? Kurt Cignetti. Where is he now?
Indiana.
Where's half of those guys that transferred from JMU?
They followed
the coach. Look where they all are now. You never know. You never know what's going to happen.
All right.
There's no reason to hate on them, though. Like, JMU did nothing to deserve anyone's hate.
All right. It's just somebody made a great comparison about how you've got the Power Five and Group of Five is kind of a reflection of real life and how the richer schools and agencies, they come in and pick up everybody, all the good talent and everything, and just use their money to basically build a huge advantage. And then when things aren't great, they just blame it on the poorer schools or the poorer people.
Yep.
And I was like, that's a fairly apt comparison. I'll be honest. But JMU, even though I don't think they'll win, more deserving to be here because winning your conference has got to mean something, man. I mean, giving it to the 5 highest ranked conference champions.
That's what the committee says. That's what the committee says, at least.
I mean, it's not. The idea, I think, was not. They didn't. When they wrote those bylaws, I don't think they imagined the Pac-12 imploding,
even the fact that Duke would come around and win the ACC,
right?
And they're like, "How do we figure out how to get?"
Be mad at the ACC. Be mad at the Pac-12 not getting a deal done, but
I think
don't be mad at the Group of Five.
Is going to be back in time, though. The Pac-12 is going to be back, and I think even some of those teams that moved to the Big 12 and Big 10 potentially could be back one day. Hopefully, the State 8 brings some love and some hope back to the Pac-12. It was a dead conference.
Okay, man. We got some end of season awards given out as well here. I'm actually going to start at the bottom and we'll work our way up for for some of these. Because I mean, have you heard of the Werfel Trophy before?
I have not.
That's the Community Service Award. That's going to Michael Taff of Texas.
Hell yeah.
So good on him. Winning the community
go.
service award is always always a good one. The academic Heisman actually going to Vandy's tight end Eli Stovers. That's the William V. Campbell
too, man.
Great year on and off the field, man. I mean, I don't know what his GPA was, but I obviously had to be pretty high to win the academic Heisman. The Disney Spirit Award for the most inspirational player. It's our boy, Jeremiah Love. No hate to him. I'm not, like, it's just unfortunate the type of fit that Notre Dame is throwing. Like,
I know.
And it's taken away from like what was a really impressive season from him. And I think like it's a bummer that we're not going to get to see him in like one final bowl game. Because he's going to the draft. He's going to the draft. He's going to be a first round pick, if I had to guess.
Pretty messed up to all those fans, dude. Like they all just wanted to see those dudes last game. Like all those seniors that could potentially be juniors and seniors that would have their one last game for all the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if you're not in the playoff.
And like think of like the guys that aren't even going to be going to the NFL. Like now they played their last game against Stanford and they didn't even know it.
Yeah, they didn't even know. That's some BS.
It just mess.
What's our next winner?
The Burlsworth Trophy for top former walk-on going to Drew Metzmaker from North Texas.
Dude,
very well deserved there.
4,100 yards for that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to transfer potentially? Maybe Florida. Maybe Lane Kiffin might need a quarterback. Garrett Nussmeier stinks.
Is he? He was only a freshman, dude. And he led the country in passing yards. His coach did go to Oklahoma State. I mean, does he follow his coach there? I kind of think he does. I mean, like,
that's actually interesting.
OSU, that's a roster very devoid of talent. You've got the head coach there. I'm forgetting his name. But yeah, I mean, like, they're gonna need a quarterback. He tore it up there. Could potentially have your leading receiver, Wyatt Young, who's just a sophomore, transfer there with you. Like, I don't know if anything's been set in stone, but like,
that's interesting.
Right. I mean, like, Florida might need a QB. Penn State, LSU. I really like OSU for Oklahoma State. That would make a lot of sense to me. Who else was I thinking of? I don't know. Chambliss gets drafted. Ole Miss. A lot of options for Metzger, and he now was a walk-on, man, and just absolutely tore it up.
I'm interested to see. I didn't know he was a freshman walk-on. That's awesome right there. Because that's an off-season of just straight up position battles for him and competing for the number one spot as a walk-on too. Like, round of applause until the final whistle. Yeah. Now
we're getting to a bit of a sweep here. There's two different types of Defensive Player of the Year awards for some reason. There's the Betteneric and the Bronco Nagurski Trophy. Both of them went to Jacob Rodriguez of Texas Tech, who was just an absolute menace.
Dude is a monster
this season. I'm trying to pull him up. He was
upperclassman.
I believe so. I'm trying to find him right now on the total tackle. So he was 13th in the country in total tackles. I think he had 117, 61 solo. Only a sack, but he forced 7 fumbles. He had 4 interceptions, a number of fumble recoveries. And he was just, the leader back there on an absolutely dominant Texas Tech defense, dude. Like,
I'm excited to watch him in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're gonna be a problem. I I wouldn't feel good if I was Oregon. You know, I beat JMU, but then I got to go and take on the Red Raiders. That's going to be nuts.
Oil money. Come on now. They're bringing in the talent now.
Yeah, the oil money is going to be
money to blow.
Be crazy. I'm like looking at. I think the most points they allowed all season was 26, and I was in a close game against Arizona State. I mean, they only really allowed teams to get 20 or more twice this season. And he was a big reason part of that set, like couple and multiple shutouts as well. So yeah, the oil money. And he was worth
a guy like Jacob Rodriguez.
He was worth every penny. Ray Guy Award, which goes to your best punter, that was Georgia's Brett Thornton. Outland Trophy for best interior lineman going to Spencer Fano of Utah. I think he's going to be a highly sought after.
He's going to be top 10
draft pick. Yeah, no, he was a beast.
Him and a guy from Miami are the top 2 ranked, where they got Fano in some really way too early mock drafts going in the top 10 right now.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, the offensive line.
He's 300 pounds, man. He runs a freaking.
Yeah.
He runs a 4.6 40.
Big
at
guy.
300 pounds.
Yeah, he's a big guy with that type of athleticism. Oh.
Put him at guard and run trap game. Pull him and have him kill a linebacker.
Oh my god, yeah, he's going to.
Oh my gosh,
he'll be taking some people out. The John Mackey for best tight end goes to the academic Heisman, Eli Stowers. Great season for him. I'm going to pull up his his season stats, man.
Bro. He was like,
right.
If there's any reason that Diego Pavia's season looks so dang good, it's that guy's a big
safety blanket for him. Yeah, I mean, just in college football too. Like, I mean, as a tight end, sometimes it can be hard to get receptions and targets, but he had 62 catches for 770 yards, 4 touchdowns. Big part of their
real good fit.
Yeah, he was a big part of their success running the football though too. Was willing to block and do the dirty work as well.
Yeah, because they like to run a lot of really big sets, 12, 13 personnel.
So
Vanderbilt. So
the Blitnikoff went to Makai Lemon of USC.
I think it's well deserved. The other candidates in there is Jeremiah Smith and one other guy. I forget what school he was on.
So the guy from San Jose State.
Yeah.
He had a good season too. But yeah, Lemon, what he did against some really good competition, teams like Oregon, Iowa, Notre Dame, some of the top defenses he faced, and Michigan, that's another one. He had 79 receptions for 1,156 yards, 11 touchdowns. The junior, I think, is going to be playing on Sundays and be a pretty successful player.
Be very good.
The Buckus for best linebacker also going to Jacob Rodriguez. Luke Rosa for best place kicker goes to Tate Sandell of Oklahoma. Maybe he's a good kisser too. I don't know. But, he's the best place kicker. Jeez, man. Remington Award for your best center, that goes to Logan Jones of Iowa. The Doak Walker Award for best running back going to Jeremiah Love. That was a no-brainer there. Again, Love just dominant this season. And then this is where we get to the Big Ten dominance. So we'll start with the Jim Thorpe, best defensive back. Went to Caleb Downs. That's not shocking. Best DB on one of the best defenses in the country.
Right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now Caleb is going to be...
same with that D lineman they got. Or he might be an outside linebacker.
I'm blanking on his name, but he's
it's like Reese or something.
Big number. You're talking about like big
0.
number. Oh, I'm thinking of their nose tackle. They got like a big number 98, dude.
That dude is nasty too.
Right. He's just
but they got an edge rusher that's
absolute unit inside. I'm not sure. Yeah, Downs I mean, 40 tackles, solo tackles, 60 total on the year. Picked up a sack, only had 2 interceptions, but I mean, like, he wasn't getting thrown to a lot. Like, a lot of these tackles were him coming in support or coming down in the run game and playing the run like that. Like, teams just weren't really testing his side of the field, and for good reason. 6'2", 205, guy can hit like a pickup truck. You don't want to test him. Then we get to the Indiana sweep. So the Maxwell and Walter Camp, which are Player of the Year awards, going to Fernando Mendoza, who brought home the Davey O'Brien for best quarterback, and his coach Kirk Signetti winning Coach of the Year. And it was all capped off with Mendoza the following night cleaning up and winning the Heisman as well. So let's talk about Fernando Mendoza as the Heisman. What are your thoughts on this, Caveman?
I think he deserved it, honestly. He's in this scenario, right? Like, compare him to Diego Pavia and Julian Sand. I think Julian Sand, if he continues to play like he does, he could be in the conversation for it next year and easily win it. Because he's only a sophomore, too. He's still got some time left to play at Ohio State.
Definitely.
So I definitely think he's probably going to be in the same situation where Julian Sand's probably going to be a finalist again next year. So I mean, this was kind of the obvious pick. I think if anyone else won it, I think it's just because the voters were more so against Fernando Mendoza winning it.
I think he was very deserving of it. You look at, I mean, he was a huge reason why Indiana was so successful this year. The offense was very successful. And then in situations where they got into, when they were down, their backs were against the wall, and they needed somebody to lead a comeback drive. Think against Penn State. Think in the game against OSU, he had some pretty clutch throws and clutch moments, man. Like, he delivered. He stepped up in those big moments, and then in like the games where they should have just annihilated teams, he was great. Like, I mean, like,
stepped up in
their 73-0 victory over Illinois State. He was 19-20, 270 and 5 touchdowns. I mean, like, there weren't like a lot of stat padding opportunities for him, and he didn't really go for it. I mean, like, he threw for 332 against MSU. I mean, he led a victory on the road in Oregon. He barely played against Purdue. Games like Maryland. I mean, like there were a lot of games where like he just helped Indiana get up to such a big lead.
He was there to win games and not fill up the stat sheet and the box score. I agree with you on the clutch throws. Right. He's had the clutch gene all year long. I don't think people were really respecting it.
Right.
Because it was like, oh, you got in a close game with Penn State. Like, well, he led a game-winning drive and threw a touchdown pass and walked off.
I mean,
it doesn't matter who you're playing. That's a big moment in your career, right?
I think that can be that's a Heisman moment too, where it's like, I mean, like, Beaver Stadium's still a tough place to play. They don't care what Penn State's record is.
Yeah.
And to be struggling like that, and to just all game, but then when it really matters the most, to be able to just put together a great drive and lead a game-winning drive, make a big throw, give your receiver a chance to make a play on the ball. And I mean, that throw he had, like, off balance, under pressure, didn't set his feet or anything, and he still put it in a spot where it's like, either my guy can get it and come down in bounce, he's going to have to make an athletic play, or I'm like, it's just going to go out of the back of the end zone. But it doesn't, you're not throwing a pick in that situation. He had 2,980 yards, 33 touchdowns, just 6 interceptions. Was just the best, quarterback, was the best quarterback in the country. on the best team. It wasn't the craziest Heisman class this year. I think it was really only ever really between him and Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
I think if you gave it to Love, I would have been like, Love was just as deserving as a total workhorse back, and just like Love was at least the best offensive player in college football. You could say he was probably the best player in college football.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, I also almost forgot to mention Mendoza did have 6 rushing touchdowns as well.
It's BS though, people saying that this is one of the worst Heisman classes of all time. They want to compare Jeremiah Love's rushing stats to Johnny Manziel. And I'm like, why you're comparing people to Johnny Football?
Yeah.
That's one of the best college football players. Like, that's like comparing somebody to freaking like Florida Tim Tebow.
Right. Or like Auburn Cam Newton. Like, I mean, come on, like
they were just insane.
LSU Joe Burrow.
There was no stopping freaking Johnny Manziel in those days. That's why his rushing stats pretty much matched Jeremiah Love's. Even though he was the quarterback, he put up rushing stat lines. Plus,
you got to think, I mean, like
2,500 passing yards that year and however many passing touchdowns.
The numbers Love put up was despite him sharing carries with Jadarian Price and also
split backfield.
Notre Dame not having a super effective passing attack where it's like, yeah, like teams are going to be keying in on you more, and he still put up dominant numbers. So, but I think Mendoza, I mean, like what Indiana did and like just the historic season that they had, I think you got to give him the nod in that regard, because it was just a historic year for Indiana. And would it have been possible without a guy like Mendoza at the helm? I don't think, we saw with the Curtis Rourke last year, yeah, they could still be good, but 12-0, beating Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, number 1 seed in the country going into the college football playoff.
This is a better team than last year. And everybody wrote them off. They didn't think they were going to be this good this year. No one,
myself
no
included,
one had them on the radar.
I was like, I don't think beginning of the year, we were talking about, I don't think Indiana makes it back to the postseason. They were one of those teams where like, they're probably not making it back. Had them like, yeah, I mean, we had them up there with some squads like Texas and A&M and Boise State, all them, and boy, were we wrong. So, very deserving. But let us know what you think. Was Mendoza deserving of the Heisman? Would you have given it to Love? Would you have given it to Pavi or Sam? What was your take on that? And any thoughts you had on the college football season this year? How are we feeling about this season? I loved it. I thought there was so much chaos.
Yeah, it was
to
fun.
it.
Duke made it a hell of a show.
Right. And just, yeah, like the madness element of this sport. It was a fantastic season. It was a lot of fun. And I think we're going to have a pretty good postseason and bowl season still to come ahead of us. So
I'm hyped.
That's going to do it for a college football breakdown. We're going to go ahead and hit our first music break. And then when we come back, the NFL postseason picture is taking shape. And there's another crazy week of action, some cinematic matchups and everything.
Every
going
game
down.
was good this week.
Oh my God, there were so many good
Eagles.
games. Yeah. It was a fantastic week of football. So stay tuned. You're watching till the final whistle, Football Frenzy here on Military Broadcast Radio.
street. The kind of man that I hate to meet. If he had money, then he wouldn't be poor. He wouldn't be stealing in our streets anymore. We need love and understanding. 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 Where do we go? What do we do? Where do we go? Now I'm telling you, yeah, we need more love and understanding.
Penalty on YOU. Delay of game. 5 seconds before the show. But hey, thanks for watching.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
All right, everybody. You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle. Back with our NFL segment. If you guys had anything else you wanted to let us know about college football, how your teams did, drop it in the comments now. We'll talk with you for some time on that too, if we want to revisit anything with you. But we had a crazy week 15 in the NFL.
Yes,
all of
sir.
these games, there's really only a couple games on here that you could say weren't playoff games. Eagles Raiders was a blowout. The Ravens blew out the Bengals, and Bears Browns was just a beatdown. Every other game, though, I mean, you're looking at teams that were really
Even
just
in some of the
competing against each
blowouts, there
other.
was some really just high level play by on the one side. Well, we'll start with our weekly rundown. Thursday night football. All you Kyle Pitts believers, man, it finally paid off. We'll talk about the Kyle Pitts legacy game as he goes off against the Buccaneers. Oh,
Can you refresh
Yeah,
your end real quick? We don't have to go on break. They can still hear us, but
my man Caveman got disconnected.
he's got hit with the glitch right there.
Boom, he's back. All right, we're good. Kyle Pitts legacy game helps the Buccaneers, or not the Buccaneers, the Falcons come back down 14 against Tampa Bay and win it on a walk-off field goal 29-28.
Baker's
Sunday,
been looking rough.
yeah, there's a lot of problems there in Tampa Bay. And they still somehow might win the division. The Bears and the Browns squared off. The Bears looking to get a bounce back victory after a tough loss in Lambeau, and the lowly Browns were the perfect team to beat up on. One of Caleb Williams' better games in terms of completion percentage. The defense was just all over Shador and this Browns offense. And
He
I
made
was
some
all
crazy off schedule throws, like stuff out of the pocket in this game.
yeah, had some nice deep balls.
He's been good, man.
Like the talent, arm talent, everything's there. I think he'll be really good if you can put some decent pieces around him. I honestly do.
They just got to keep building it. Their
Mhm.
defense is insane. They generate the most turnovers this year. They got two of their defensive backs lead the NFL in interceptions.
Mhm.
They're nasty.
They are. Yeah, the Bears roll all over the Browns 31-3. Yep. So the Ravens, when they played the Bengals at home on Thanksgiving, lost by 18 points and committed 5 turnovers. Now on the road in Cincinnati, completely different game. Despite a lot of yardage put up by Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, Bengals could not get on the board. A defensive score late helps really just put the nail in the coffin in this one. 24-0 Ravens win. All right.
Big win for the Ravens.
The Chiefs were playing what was really a must win against the Chargers. Had to keep their season on the line. And just a microcosm of everything that's gone wrong for the Chiefs this season. as they're battling, they had a 10-point lead at one point in this game, and LA came storming back. And the Chargers, I mean, it's it hasn't always been pretty, but this is a gritty, really physical football team.
This is a good way.
That if you let them hang around, they will find the ways to win. And Mahomes tearing his ACL, trying to make a play happen, down 3. His season and the Chiefs are done as the Chargers.
Eliminated.
Chargers defeat them 16-13 to eliminate the Chiefs from the postseason for the first time
AFC West
in a
fans,
decade.
We know you're all happy. The Chargers fans are really the ones taking the cake. They
swept the Chiefs this year, man.
Swept them, knocked them out the playoffs.
Swept the Chiefs and the Raiders, and I mean, we'll see how the end of the year is looking. I mean, there's a chance that maybe the Broncos don't need to play their starters week 18, so they may sweep the whole division.
Did start those first 3 weeks. They were 3-0 to start the year on all 3 division games. Man, that's crazy that they could go 6-0 in the division and still you guys would still be the higher seed.
Right.
Which kind of was the case. You guys didn't sweep the Chiefs last year, but they didn't have to put their starters in for that last week. And then both of you guys still made the playoffs.
All right. Now we had the Patriots and Drake May. They had a chance to clinch up the division and take it back from Buffalo for the first time in 6 years, I believe. Last time Tom Brady was a Patriot. And so it was looking good.
Not that long ago. That's crazy.
It was looking good. They were up 21 at halftime. But Josh Allen and the Bills stormed back in furious fashion in the second half. The offense of the Patriots sputtered out. Defense couldn't get a stop. And the Bills come away in a thriller on the road in this one to get to their 10 wins on the season and keep a chance at winning the division alive in a 35-31 victory. Another divisional game that didn't really have any postseason implications, really more just draft order than anything. But the Washington Commanders get a good bounce back win after getting shut out. They beat the Giants 29-21. Playing for pride there.
Yeah, it was one of 2 teams that were trying to end the league's longest losing streak this season.
Commanders got it done.
Needed that one.
The Giants have now lost, 9 straight?
Yep.
That's brutal.
Yeah, 2-3 really isn't that bad of a start to your season if you're the Giants.
I think it's 8 straight. I think they were 2-4 going into that game against the Broncos with the insane comeback, and then they haven't won since.
Yep, 8 straight. They beat the Eagles 34-17 on Thursday Night Football. They were rolling, and then y'all made that comeback against them, and then 7 games in a row.
Bo Nix curse. You mentioned it. Yeah, the Eagles Raiders, that was a blowout. Good get back game for Philadelphia. 31-0. Yeah, Kenny Pickett. There wasn't no revenge game happening here. He was getting tossed around all game by the Eagles defense.
15 passes.
30.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, 31-0 in the victory for the Eagles. Now you want to talk about
that just scared the crap out of me. We got to save some time to talk about the fantasy football playoffs for the NBR League.
Oh yeah,
because these games, me and Jimmy's game, I was puckered up, Jimmy. If you're watching, I was sweating our game all Sunday long.
It was close. Well, dude, if you started Trevor Lawrence in fantasy football this week, congratulations on your victory.
Yeah, you won.
T-Law was an absolute machine. Him and Travis Etienne were hooked up for 3 touchdown passes. T-Law added 2 more, and he put one on the ground as the Jets just ran circles. The Jags just ran circles around the lowly Jets. An undrafted free agent rookie making his first career NFL start. Didn't even really play that bad, but man, the talent disparity between Jacksonville and New York was just on full display. It's Jags 10-4, looking a little scary, man. It's a solid football team. Liam Cohen is an absolute mastermind.
He's getting that offense really going.
Dude, he is, I think Lawrence has been making some more plays down the stretch, but a lot of the offensive success they've had this year, that guy is just a scheme guru.
And getting
Bucks
Trevor
fans,
Lawrence,
I'm sorry y'all are stuck with Todd Bowles while you let this absolute genius walk, bro.
He's been getting ETN and T-Law in the right places to succeed. Like earlier in the year, we saw a lot of mistakes with Jacksonville.
Dude.
Now it's real clean football. There's not a lot of penalties with them. They're just winning games now.
Go to I'm shouting them out again. I love this dude, Film Watchers on Instagram and TikTok, bro. He was highlighting just Liam Cohen's schemes, man. Like he'd see these looks that the Jets were given, and then like when they bring him back out, he'd have like just the perfect play call dialed up. It was just like gave T-Law like the two options that were gonna work regardless of where he went with the football. Just it's some beautiful play calling.
That's easy for your guy. Easy money.
48-20. The Jacks just rolled
them.
The Texans, Dan, they started 0-3, and since then they are 9-2, and they picked up their 9th win on the season. They're keeping pace with Jacksonville. They'll probably need some help from somebody like, say, the Broncos to get a chance to win the division, but they still might. The offense is playing a lot better than it was early in the season.
They figured out how to get that protection down for CJ Stroud and just let him be pocket passer, dude.
And this defense is still dominating, still the best in the league. They roll all over the Cardinals at home, 40-20. Yeah, CJ Stroud's looking good. Nico Collins is explosive. This new running back that they got into the mix, Jordan, looked pretty impressive. So Texans getting hot at the right time.
They dug down to the third string running back and he got it done.
Denver Broncos offense, they're also getting hot at the right time. And honestly, first half of this game, the defense was not great, but they really came to life and played their best when it mattered the most. And, with a momentum shifting takeaway and some just swarming defense in the fourth quarter. Bo Nix was great, thrown for 302 and 4 touchdowns. Broncos win their 11th straight, first AFC team to clinch a playoff berth, and were really only beat out by mere minutes by the Rams for clinching a playoff berth. As they get a big statement victory over the Packers, 34-26. This was another fantastic game. Like I said, the Rams beat my Broncos out for being the first team to clinch a playoff berth by just mere minutes as they took care of the Lions in a shootout at home, 41-30. And man, I gotta say, dude, Puka Nacua is looking like the best receiver in football. And Sean McVay is so creative using him. He's like Puka, man. Even though he is not the fastest guy, he is such an elite route runner. So big, he's got such great hands, and then he is just impossible to take down, man.
One of the biggest, strongest receivers. You can't really press him because he's stronger than you. He'll get the leverage on you there. He'll out route run you now. He's really developed into one of the most well-rounded receivers in the NFL, without having that
top end
speed, that breakaway speed that most guys got.
Well, I mean, that you think about it, as a receiver goes through his career, I mean, that speed's gonna kind of come down, and what you want to look for is he's got all the other things that'll be useful to you when you're not as fast.
He slows the game down to his pace perfectly. He can just lull guys to sleep, and just a quick burst by them on the route is enough to get him open. Dude. And Matthew Stafford's too seasoned of a veteran to, if his guy's open in a quick window, he's going to hit that.
I mean, it's crazy. Besides just running a deep ball route, I think I would still probably take JSN over him in that situation. Any other scenario, if I had to pick one receiver to go to in that situation, I'm going Puka. Run a screen pass, I want Puka. A handoff to a wide receiver, like a jet sweep, little jet motion pass, anything like that, I'm giving it to Puka. I need a fourth or third down clutch catch in the pickup. giving it to Puka. One-on-one jump ball in the end zone. I'd go to Puka, man. He absolutely elite. Love the guy.
You got to pull out all the stops.
Yeah.
For Puka.
Rams are rolling though. They're still looking like Super Bowl favorites. The Panthers, a team that beat the Rams, beat the Packers, has just been swept by the New Orleans Saints. The Shuckinator, man, he is inevitable. I can't believe. I mean, like the Saints have 4 wins this season. 3 of them are against division opponents, and they've got a chance to make it 4. And go 4-2 in their division. They get a 20-17 walk-off field goal victory against the Panthers, who have like all these opportunities to jump out ahead of the Buccaneers in the South and just won't take it. Nobody wants to win the South.
Nope.
In the season. They don't want to do it.
It could have been the first division clinching win for the Carolina Panthers for the first time in roughly around 10 years. And they couldn't even beat a 3-win team.
Nope.
Man.
Shocking.
It was shocking.
All right. The 49ers taking on the Titans. And honestly, I mean, it was a 13-point victory, 37-24 win for the Niners. But Cam Ward's really, again, putting up some good tape, man.
Quiet excellence.
It's quiet excellence. Yeah.
He does not get talked about enough this season. I think that's just one of the most it is the most talent deficient roster in the NFL. They're missing so many pieces.
And his top 2 passing options are also rookie wide receivers, man. It's been like Chimere DK, who I think was an undrafted free agent, and Alec Ioman, who they took in like the 5th round as like the top guys to throw to, dude. Like Gunnar Helm is also a rookie tight end.
Helm, 4th round. He was pick 120 in the draft. Gunnar Helm. Their oldest guy is Van Jefferson.
I mean, like he's so bad. They're out here throwing touchdowns to defensive linemen.
Yep.
Like it's
that's the second of Eric
Cam Warden
Simmons'
and
career.
Jeffrey Simmons.
Simmons.
And a hope and a dream for Tennessee. But also, not to discredit the 49ers, man. All these injuries and just the absolute craziness of this season. They are 10-4. And I believe they're on a bit of a winning streak, too, if I'm not mistaken. They have won
4 straight.
4 in a row and 5 out of their last 6.
It's pretty convincing 4-game win streak. 41-22 in Arizona, 20-9 against the Panthers, 26-8 against the Browns, and then you beat the Titans by 13 points. Yeah, CMC and Brock Purdy doing ball fakes, rushing around out of bounds.
Yeah.
And they've been playing really good, and they got healthy at the right time.
One of the
NFC is a bloodbath.
Dude, one of the quieter 10-win teams.
They got healthy at the right time.
And I mean, look at the rest of their schedule. You're going to take on, I mean, the Colts with a grandpa at quarterback. Got the Chicago Bears on Sunday Night Football, and then you end the year against the Seattle Seahawks.
Potentially,
so it's a bit of a tough stretch there for sure. But
could be 3 primetime games in a row.
Honestly,
they
too.
could give them that, but
Monday night
Seahawks game is to be decided.
Sunday night. I mean, you're looking at 2 teams that might be playing for the 5th seed at that point, like at a higher seeding. So the right to get to play an NFC South team, whoever that might be. I mean, that'll be a hot commodity to try to get into the playoffs.
That's either your 4 p.m. game of the week on Fox, or
I mean, they do like 2 random Saturday games usually, like the last week of the season. So that might be one of those Saturday primetime games as well. Yeah,
could be 3 late night games in a row.
It really could be. Definitely a tough stretch, but they can do it. Speaking of the Colts, they ran Old Man Rivers out there. Nearly got a win on the road in Seattle, man.
Yeah, the Seahawks had to be clutch.
Josh Myers with a clutch walk-off field goal there to seal the deal. And then Rivers he kind of had to start pushing the ball down the field, got tipped and intercepted, and that was gonna do it. But I mean, he had more touchdown passes this week than like Drake May, Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. I feel like I'm missing somebody else. There's somebody else he had more passing touchdowns than too. So Baker, no, not Baker. Whatever. I digress. I mean, he had more passing touchdowns than Sam Darnold too. Let's not forget about that. Yeah,
Darnold didn't even have a passing touchdown in it.
I think it was all field goals for Seattle actually too. Like they kicked, was it 6 field goals in this one? They didn't score a single touchdown. They had to get it done with all field goals. I mean, the Colts defense came to play. I mean, they knew like what they were going to have to do to get a victory in this one. They came
from Rashid Shaheed. That 27-yarder with the clock winding down, get everyone to the line and snap it for the game-winning field goal. He's been working himself in that offense, so I'm happy to see that.
But hey, Ung still got it. We'll see him on Monday Night Football against the 49ers. Seahawks get the victory 18-26, though. Then Sunday Night Football, I mean, the Cowboys season was essentially ended by 9 on primetime television. He literally grittied on them on his way into the end zone on a naked bootleg, which was a design quarterback run. Shades of Peyton Manning there. But Peyton didn't emote on him. Peyton didn't have the speed to emote on him. He had to just make sure he got in there. But yeah, 9 hit a little gritty on them. And the Cowboys end up falling at home 34-26. And I don't think they're mathematically eliminated, but I mean, it's going to be like,
they need the Eagles
at this point, they need the
games.
Eagles to lose out and for them to win out, which
that's literally
doesn't
impossible.
seem super likely. No. Especially because the Eagles, I think like their last, like 2 of their last games are against Washington. They do have Buffalo week 17, but then it's like Washington, Buffalo, Washington. So good chance they win at least one of those against Washington. They could split. But
Washington, Buffalo, Washington is the last 3 games.
And then finally, Monday Night Football. We're talking about old timers still slinging the rock. Aaron Rodgers still doing it at a high level, man. He had
a nice one.
Dude, his completion percentage was crazy in this one. He didn't throw not many balls hit the ground. He was 23 of 27 in this one. Not like a ton of yards, but I mean, he just was picking apart that Miami Dolphins defense. They ran the ball super well. Tua's now 0-6 in games that stay below 40 degrees or colder. And the Steelers still stand 1 game ahead of Baltimore as they get a 28-15 victory. And the Dolphins are now officially eliminated from postseason contention with this loss. 28-15. Steelers get the victory. All right, K-Man.
Get the win.
Tons of games to go over. Where do we start in this one?
Let's start in Philly.
All right.
This game was boring. 64 passing yards from Kenny Pickett. Got sacked 4 times.
I mean, you want to talk about it. Just
46 rushing yards.
That got nothing.
Like, what the?
They were just completely blanked.
You're just watching Devin White tackle people at this point if you're a Raiders fan. Like, that's what you're watching. You're watching the game to see Devin White make some good tackles. 9 solo.
Yeah, dude, he's having a pretty crazy season. What is the tackle record? Do you know? Because he's at 149 currently.
Let me just quick Google search it.
I mean, with just how often he's got to make tackles, he legitimately might break it. Like, here's the thing: is like the Titans and Raiders are 2-12. The Raiders have more talent on their roster and are, in my mind, the worst team. They are just terribly coached. They've just.
How many does he have?
149.
Oh yeah, he really could. Well, how many solo does he have?
Solo tackles 81, I believe.
Oh, he's not going to come close. The leading solo tackler. This is literally. I don't even know how the heck they got. Like these numbers are insane. Ray Lewis got 156 solo tackles in 1997.
Dang, really?
That's the leader.
Okay, and then what about total tackles? Is there?
Let's see if I can do total tackles. Tackles combined. Here we go. So he would need 214 in 1993 for the Buccaneers. Hardy Nickerson had 214 tackles.
Well, hey, Ray, maybe you'll have a guy break the total tackle record this season. He's got 3 more games to do it. That'll be tough. That's a lot of tackles to get. Yeah. Perfect game for the Eagles. They got to just run the football a lot. Saquon got another touchdown. They gave it 47 carries, 47 rushing attempts as a team for 183 yards. Jalen Hurts only had to throw the ball 15 times, and you had Tanner McKee come in for mop-up duty late in the game and only have to throw 3 passes. So the exact type of game the Eagles want to play. They don't have to put the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands too much. And then they drew up some gimme plays to him. Some Dallas Goedert basically just like shovel passes and then let Goddard sneak into the end zone. I'll say he had a nice throw to A.J. Brown. That was a pretty nice touchdown.
And that was with the clock winding down. You got to get your guy a touchdown so he doesn't complain.
Yeah, rather like
he had 46 yards or something, right?
41.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that was one. I'm looking at my fantasy game. He doesn't have a catch until the 3rd quarter, man. He didn't get the ball until late in this one. He was
2
running
catches for 41 yards, but he did get the touchdown. So salvageable game.
He turned it around. Yeah, but I was just.
Man, having Dallas Goedert on my bench in one league is the reason I'm not moving on to the next round of the playoffs. I was went with Stephon Diggs over him, and that did not pan out for me in the slightest. Dominant win for the Eagles. Not much to break down there. They just were the better team. Didn't have to rely on their shaky quarterback too much. It just let the other guys win the game. Let's go to another blowout. Just get it kind of out of the way. Chicago playing the Cleveland Browns.
Fedor threw 3 picks in this one.
Yeah, it was a rough game.
Talk about being in one of the worst situations. Like
he also does not have a lot of talent. I mean, I like Harold Fannin. Isaiah Bonds kind of emerging as a nice deep threat, but then like Jerry Jeudy's and Malachi Corey. Like, dude, who's Greg Gage Larvadian?
Gage Larvadian.
Gage Larvadian.
Who the heck is that?
Travion Williams. Never heard of these dudes in my life, bro.
I think absolutely some of the dudes they got ain't really that bad.
Absolutely no help from this run game too. Shador was the Browns' leading rusher, so just a microcosm of dysfunction, really. A total calamity for Cleveland as a whole.
The one thing you did get in this is the fact that Myles Garrett only needs 1 more sack. Tie. But he needs 2 to break it.
They hosed him, man. They changed it from a full sack to a half a sack.
The other dude didn't even touch him right there.
Just crazy.
Shelby Harris didn't even touch Caleb Williams on that sack either. They were just kind of in the area. But now I guess that's kind of cool. He'll be the leader by 1.5 sacks.
And Schlesinger, I mean, I like to just highlight this guy because despite not a whole lot going well for the Browns, he was, I think, a slam dunk pick, man. He is consistently the team's leading tackler. He's got a sack and a half. He's got 2 interceptions this year. Really promising young player for him to build on that defense. I mean, having a good middle linebacker like him can be, I think it gets highly underrated these days. And yeah. the Bears are just, I mean, this is a really stacked roster. They ran the ball 33 times for 142 yards, 2 touchdowns, both for DeAndre Swift. Caleb Williams, yeah, they got some pressure on him, but his ability to create with his legs, really, I think his biggest thing is he just has to work on being more accurate.
That's placement when he's outside the pocket.
Yeah,
got to put the ball in a better place.
But like his ability to create when things get off schedule is going to be huge. I think like if he just could work on getting the ball out of his hands quicker, I'm seeing some improvement there for sure. And then just being a little more accurate. But like I'm starting to see the player that was very hyped up, man. And he had 2 really impressive throws to DJ Moore in this one. The Bears defense coming away with 5 sacks.
Got the right coach to develop him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think getting Matt Eberflus with him was the right move because now that he's moved on and is a defensive coordinator, it's much different. And now Ben Johnson with the play calling, you got someone that can really develop him into like high
and they finally, like, for a Chicago Bear quarterback, they finally invested in an offensive line, man. Like the signings of
to get a run game going.
Signings of Tooney, Drew Dahlman, Jonah Jackson just cannot be understated on how impactful those guys have been for this team. Yeah, like the Bears are such a dominant team on the ground, and like Caleb's being able to get away with holding on to the ball longer just because he's got better protection. And I mean, it is turning into some positive things. Ben Johnson's still also getting him better about hitting the top of his drop, reading that defense, and getting the ball out of there. So
he's been good, man. And they got Jalen Johnson back in this one. Jerry Jeudy handed him a pick.
I think they finally did the right thing where they're like, okay, we drafted this guy first overall, but like clearly, you know, we're going to need a little more developmental time with them to really, you know, if we're going to be able to
skills.
Yeah, to be a competitive team with him at the helm. So what we got to do is flush the roster out around him, you know, and we can't rely too much on the quarterback. We got to give him some talent, and they really do. They've done a fine job of that. They're back in control of the North. We'll see if big game coming up against the Packers here.
Some real good ball players on this team.
But they're breaking that cycle of drafting a quarterback with a coach that then gets fired and hiring a new coach who then wants a new quarterback, and just that they've been in for a while. So good to see them breaking that mold.
Breaking the mold to build a new one. That I mean, 10-4, you're a really good home team. If they could come into the playoffs with home field advantage, the Bears are going to be a scary team in the postseason.
I'm here. I'm trying to just speed run some of these blowouts. The Ravens 24-0 victory. Not really because of Lamar, man. He was 8-12 for 150. Did have 2 touchdowns.
Really the run game.
But yeah, the Ravens ran for 189 yards. As for Sheen Ali, man, he was kind of explosive in the passing game there. But yeah, it was just the defense swarming after Burrow. Who, I mean, the Bengals, I think they outgained them. No, they didn't outgain them, but they had like a huge time of possession disparity. I mean, they had the ball for 39 minutes and 19 seconds. Like that was
all they could really do with nearly the ball was turn it over.
20-minute time of possession disparity, and
they couldn't even score a point.
Didn't score a single point. Threw a pick 6. Burrow had 2 interceptions in this one. And now at this point, 4-10, any hope of the playoffs is officially squashed. I think they're actually mathematically eliminated.
Yeah,
I mean, Jamar Chase had 10.
I think they're out.
10 grabs for 132 yards. It just couldn't finish drives, couldn't really convert on third down. They were 3 of 15 on third down. They had a couple of failed fourth down conversions. So 2 turnovers on downs, 2 interceptions. All these mistakes just piling up on piling up on them and that weren't able to overcome it. And give it to credit to the Ravens defense, man. They're getting better at the right time. 3 sacks in this one, the takeaways.
Bengals had a chance, dude. They had a chance to gain some momentum really early in the game. It was like Marvin Harrison earlier in the year dropping that ball across the middle and it get picked off. They had the ball right at midfield in the first quarter, and they couldn't even get into field goal range. They had multiple opportunities to get some momentum building plays. I mean, they had the ball for 40 minutes. Like you said, they had a chance.
Like the Ravens did not do a ton of like super positive things. I mean, they were fairly inefficient themselves, only 2 of 7 on third down. But they had limited opportunities and they just made more of those opportunities. And the Bengals just had a plethora of opportunities and chances to make a play happen. They couldn't convert or get it done anytime.
Sad loss for them. I mean, we kind of figured the season was a wash when Joe Burrow got injured.
Yeah.
And we just really saw how bad that defense was.
All right, just the fact that they had any chance at all was
it was a wash pretty quick. They're always one of the hotter teams coming into the year because they got a really stacked offense. And then same thing every year.
So I'm going to ask you this question, Caveman. Joe Burrow still a Bengal next year?
I honestly feel like for the better of his career, maybe not. But I also feel like...
Do you think he's... Now, my other question to follow up to that, do you think he's on a different team or do you think he retires? I mean, he sort of teased that.
He did.
He might not.
He did.
Keep playing.
Honestly.
He's contemplating retirement. What do you guys think? Drop it in the comments.
Drop that in the comments. I don't think his career is over, though. I don't think his career is over, though.
Burrow's still a Bengal, or what's going on there?
If anything, they're firing their coach.
I think, Zach Taylor's got to be done after that. I mean, he's been coasting off of taking them to the Super Bowl that one year.
He's been flying under the radar.
Yeah. All right, we'll do the Jets game, man. 48-20. All Jacksonville just all over New York in this one, man.
6 touchdowns for T-Law, bro. Holy crap.
They had 430 yards of offense. I mean, it was really all T-Law. He was also their leading rusher, man. 5 carries for 51 yards.
Yeah,
they didn't really run the ball a whole lot, which is a little strange from a Liam Cohen offense. But, they were slinging it. I mean, they got a lot of short fields, too. And then, T-Law he'd hit some big passes to get him down in there. Like ETN had a 45-yarder. And that was like the swing pass he took to the house. Yeah. Brian Thomas caught a 39-yard pass. Parker Washington for 33.
That was a crazy pass.
So, I mean, they were getting short fields, and then they were just like scoring pretty quickly here, too. So
it was quick drives. That's what was really unfortunate for Brady Cook, is that they had the ball in his hands way too often, or it put him in a really, really bad spot.
Yeah, Jets
couldn't get anything going on the ground either.
They had the time of possession advantage, 33-26, and it just didn't really. They weren't able to do a lot with it. They ran the ball all right, I'd say, just by like kind of a committee backfield. Isaiah Davis was a nice change of pace from Breece Hall. Couldn't get anything done really. It was a tough spot on the road for.
Lance says, the Broncos are frauds. Wow.
I'm hard for Zach Taylor. Thank you, Lance. Broncos are not frauds, though. They just had a really good win over the Packers. They'll be all right. I'm nervous about this game against Jacksonville. The Jags are looking pretty good. They play really good defense. That's going to be another battle. But Denver has not lost at home since week 2 of last year, if I'm not mistaken. They've been no, not week 2, but whenever they played the Chargers at home, that was their last home loss. I think that was week 6, week 7 of last year.
Been a while.
Yeah.
So
they've got a good home winning streak. It's going to be another battle here. They've got a gauntlet, but that victory against Green Bay was a good one to instill some confidence. And I mean, yeah, they haven't always looked great at times, but I mean, you can't 12-2 and the first team in your conference to clinch the playoffs. I ain't that fraudulent. And I can tell you this: T-Law's not throwing for 5 touchdowns on our defense and rushing for another. That ain't happening. Riley Moss is going to change his sleeves colors again, so he stops getting bullcrap PI calls on him as well. All right. Another
get a pick was pretty cool. Too.
Yeah, that was awesome. Second career pick. We got a white guy interception. Good week of a defense there. All right. The other blowout we're going to just kind of jump through was the Cardinals and the Texans here. Jawar Jordan. Man, this is really his first time getting any major wow, this was actually his first start all season.
Yep. 6th round pick last year or 2 years ago.
And he hasn't really he hasn't really gotten on the field at all. He didn't play at all last year. He was just a practice squad guy, and they finally got him in there, and maybe they got something nice. I mean, I don't think Joe Mixon's coming back. That was kind of an L for them. Yeah, they're just playing with their hearts. And Nick Chubb banged up here.
They had to dig deep in the barrel, but Jawar Jordan.
15 carries, 101. That was a nice stat line. I mean, him and Woody Marks were kind of a good 1-2 combo, but CJ Stroud's playing at a new level, man. It's 22-29. They've really got some things figured out on the offensive line. The protection's been pretty good. They're running the ball a little more efficiently. And they're just they're putting together some drives, and they're avoiding turnovers and putting that defense in compromising positions. And it's been super helpful for him. Nico Collins, man, he had that incredible 57-yard catch and run to start the game for a touchdown.
That was like second or third play of the game.
Right, dude. He just ran straight through that defense. Dalton Schultz was getting involved a lot. 8 balls for 76 yards and a touchdown. There was some ball security issues. CJ Stroud put the ball on the ground a few times, with his running backs were able to get on top of it. Only two sacks in this one, but man, they were Jacoby Brissett was trying to get rid of the football.
He wasn't going down without a fight.
Yeah,
he didn't have a horrible game.
I mean, he played
completions.
He played all right. I think a lot of that came though. The Texans got up big, and then
their defense.
They were playing a little softer. Trey McBride had an absolute monster of a game though. 12 catches for 134 and 2 touchdowns. So
yeah, that was an afternoon. Only one pass. One of his 13 targets dropped. 12 catches. They're just getting killed though. Mm-hmm. That early in that game, 17-0. Henry To'o and Azeez Al-Shaair were just flying around. Those linebackers were crazy.
It was just tough for guys like Michael Wilson.
Lassiter got that pick really early.
Elijah Higgins, those, they're going up against Derek Stingley, Jalen Petrie, Kamari Lassiter.
Yeah.
It's just
Michael Wilson.
McBride was kind of their only outlet. Wilson ended up with a solid game. He had 5 catches for 54 yards and a touchdown, but it was just, it was too little, too late.
5 receptions, and 11 targets. So it's like 0 for 6 until the second half. And then it's when he started to actually get a rhythm, start to find himself.
At that point, they were kind of backing off of him. They weren't pressing him as much.
Yeah. And they're just insane, man. The defense is so stacked.
Right.
It's real easy to put that as the number one defense in the NFL.
I think they are. Like, I obviously got some bias towards the Broncos, but I gotta lean towards Houston, man. That's just a different unit out there, man. They're
at the end of the
season,
special. They make a crazy playoff run. We might be looking at the end of the season where we rank this Texans defense all time. If they make a real solid playoff run in the AFC, get in there.
Playmakers all across the board. They play as a unit really well. Big statement victory there. I mean, that's putting a lot of teams on notice. And then we had, this was last one. Wasn't as much of a blowout, but I mean, it was like a bad team, just not able to really keep pace with a good team. The Niners taking care of Tennessee.
Beat him down.
Yeah. Cam Ward
completions for Purdy, man.
Only had 170 yards. We had 2 touchdowns. Pollard had a solid game. He had to throw a touchdown pass to Jeffrey Simmons. He makes some impressive throws with his legs. But yeah, I mean, like, you look at the 49ers. Purdy he's starting to get in the rhythm again, being back in that starting lineup. You mentioned only 7 incompletions, 3 touchdowns. McCaffrey's still just a great do-it-all back. They're getting them making them have to be a little less on Jennings, George Kittle, all healthy again. Only 1 reception from McCaffrey in this one. But he still had 70, and then they only had 73 yards in the touchdown. They don't run the ball like. They're not crazy explosive running it, but I mean, they ended up picking up 138 yards. Brock Purdy's ability to scramble was a big part of that.
And that's their defensive line on Tennessee is probably really your best asset on the team. You got Jeffrey Simmons, Devondre Sweat in there in the middle, messing things up. Every once in a while, Cedric Gray was coming off the edge. He was making a lot of tackles in this one. They've got most of their defensive playmakers. That's where a lot of it lies. The offense is very, very young because you got Gunnar Helm, Alec Iomanner, and Chimere DK were all drafted in the 4th round this year. So rookie quarterback, 3 rookie receivers. Your tight end's also really young. This is his 2nd or 3rd season active.
A lot of your
Conquo.
And a lot of your veteran pass catchers haven't really stepped up. I mean, Calvin Ridley was disappointing before he got hurt. Van Jefferson had a big catch in this one, but that hasn't done a whole lot this season.
Yeah, he's only got 280 yards and a touchdown, only 24 receptions. It's just quiet excellence, man, from Cam Ward. He's been killing this.
He's been one of the most pressured quarterbacks and definitely one of the most sacked. Well, I mean, like, I think his sack numbers would be way higher if it weren't for his ability to scramble and to create.
Look at that Browns game throwing people off.
Yeah. I mean, you just put even a little talent around him and he'll be pretty good, dude. Like, he's going to be
another team with a really bright future if they can make the right moves going forward.
He's just got no coach, it's a bad situation for a rookie quarterback. It's a really bad situation.
I say we got to go look at Unk's performance now.
Get to the Unk performance here.
Touchdown and a pick, 120 yards, 18 for 27 for Big Phil. Coming out at 44 years old, man. If Drew Brees' shoulder wasn't shot, man, I'd want him back. They're around the same age.
Let's go.
Come on. But
Big Ben getting honored.
Excuse
me. In the Steelers ring night. And they're asking him, "Hey, are you thinking about coming back?" I was like, "Guys, we got to stop. We're trying to bring all these old quarterbacks out of retirement. Why?
You already got A-Rod.
Hey, what about Peyton Manning? Is he coming back? Bring back Colts legend Johnny Unitas." I know you might think that might be impossible because he died like 20 years ago, but we can find a resurrection spell or something.
Yeah, they're gonna find a way.
I mean,
Phillip Rivers comes back.
For all things considered, not a bad performance out of Rivers, man. This guy was on the couch for 5 years. He looked like an offensive coordinator out there, not a player, but
he was grilling patties and watching golf for the last 5 years.
Right.
And got a call to come play for the Colts.
He said, "I'll do that rather than spend time with my family this holiday. Let's go."
And really playing for getting called up to a team that is like fighting for their season right now. Like they need to win games to make the playoffs. Jags and Texans turned it around at the right time. I think we were kind of blinded by that number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Injuries set in. He lost Daniel Jones for the year. You have no backup quarterbacks. You're putting everything on a 44-year-old man.
And the Colts have been they've been struggling recently. They've lost 4 straight now.
They were 7-1 to start the year.
Yep.
This is an 8-6 team now. No one's we're talking about a team that's a fraud, Lance, if you're still listening. Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah. I'll say their defense came to play. They were getting a lot of stops. That kept Seattle out of the end zone the whole game. As you mentioned earlier, they had to kick 6 field goals. The offensive line really protected Rivers really well. It was just hard for them to get a run game going. And, you can kind of tell he just having some trouble getting some zip on that ball. He just wasn't able to drive it in there as well as he might have used to in the past.
People were making fun of his throwing motion, dude. That's just Phil. That's just always how he's throwing the ball. He's just kind of he's had a little bit of an awkward throwing motion. It's just, he's like you're saying, he lost that power and that touch where he could really
zip it in there.
That is an early pass to Jonathan Taylor. Completely underthrown ball on the sideline that Jonathan Taylor had to dive out for and catch. A really hard catch along the sideline. He pretty much just had to make the play. Phillip Rivers like, "I'll throw it in your general area, buddy." Yeah.
I just gotta know what is up though with like the Colts and like when they need like somebody to come in instead of like it was like the Jeff Saturday situation where it's like, why not just like have like a current coach on the roster be the interim for the rest of the year? Why are we bringing in some dude off the street that's like coaching high school football? And like, why are we're getting a 44-year-old QB out of retirement when, you just sign the guy off the practice squad? I mean, I know it's probably wouldn't be much better, but like you got like CJ Beathard. I think it's
right.
Is a free agent out there. I mean, there's a couple other guys who aren't obviously like great options, but I mean, they're still like NFL ready players.
Yeah, and if your game plan was to get Jonathan Taylor 25 carries, I would think it would have been way more successful with somebody else because it would have been more of a threat in the play action. In those, they ran a lot of easy, just crossing routes, levels concepts over the middle of the field. Like someone with just a little bit more zip on the ball, I think they would have been way, way, way better. It would have been a way better spot to win.
Much better situation here.
We kind of said it though last week that this is a dumb move. It's good. It's cool. It was awesome to see him play, and 44-year-old guy comes out of retirement and gets a touchdown pass, but
that touchdown
just seems like they give it up,
man.
That was a real throwback.
It was nice.
We haven't seen Phillip Rivers play or like be on an interview since it was on a Zoom call in freaking COVID, the pandemic.
It did great great personality. Like, even though he was a Charger for so long, like Phillip Rivers just cracked me up, man.
Trash talk.
Such a trash talker, but also he would not swear, which was hilarious. Like, just on the sideline, God dang it, shoot, freak. It's just hilarious. All right, we got on the Seattle side, man. Abysmal running performance, which is something that does concern me a little bit. How they just, again, they just really struggle to run the football. But Darnold didn't turn it over. Wasn't able to score any touchdowns. Was a little erratic at times, but 271. JSN had a solid game. Rashid Shaheed, as you mentioned, making some big plays there. Just weren't able to finish the drives, but luckily you got a kicker like Jason Myers that
100%
was knocking everything down. Yeah. Caveman, I know I was just like watching Blake Groupie go out there and drill a 60-yard there. I was just like, I know Caveman's just like pissed. Like,
well, it took a smelling salt for him to make a kick. he hit a smelling salt before kicking a football. That's what happens when you're 5'7", 156 in the league. Come on, Blake. If the Saints had Charlie Smith on their roster instead of you, we might be in the damn hunt.
Yeah. So.
No, but now's the funny time. He wants to go 100% and make everything times.
Now you want to try
times like these. But you want to blame it on the Saints organization not playing meaningful football as we sweep a team that was on a chance to win the division. Kiss my ass, Blake Groupie.
All right. Well, hey, stay tuned with us. We're going to go ahead and hit one more quick music break.
That's the way to end it right there.
Yeah. There we go. When we get back, man, me and Caveman, we got our Saints and Broncos breakdown and a lot of other good matchups to still get to. And when we come back, we're going to start with Kyle Pitts, the man, the myth, the legend, finally paying off for all those believers. You're watching Till the Final Whistle Football Frenzy here on Military Broadcast Radio.
Now, am I thinking fine? How do you feel about the way I'm feeling? 'Cause I'm not sure I'm feeling alright.
the show. But hey, thanks for watching.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
It's on the web at mbradio.net.
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle, everybody. HG and Caveman back for your final hour of the football frenzy. Got a few more games to cover here, as well as our squads. Broncos got a big dub. Saints got a huge dub. Do we want to start with one of those games, or do we want to finish up the rest of our
As I was teasing, we got to talk about the man on Thursday Night Football.
Oh, you're right. Kyle Pitts, man.
I know there are some of you out there still a Kyle Pitts believer. You still had him.
If you had him in the playoffs
in your lineup,
drop that in the comments right now.
11 grabs for 166 yards and 3 touchdowns, man.
If you trusted him in a week 15 game or in week 1 or week 2 playoff game, drop that in the comments.
I honestly think
he's had a big last couple of games for the Falcons. Can't lie.
I mean, he hasn't been like
the Saints.
Anything like super crazy, but he's having a solid year. He had like 90 yards in the previous game against Seattle. But I mean, he's 73 catches for just about 800 yards and 4 touchdowns.
It's definitely his best year because he's getting the ball a lot. Top 10 in receptions for tight ends.
All right.
Getting the ball a lot.
Like, and then, I mean, tonight it was just an explosion, but this is probably one of his more productive years just as a fantasy player because of all the catches, and he's getting decent yardage and everything. Still been a little bit streaky, but if you were believing, this was the unicorn.
Yeah, this was the season.
You were waiting for.
Falcons are 5-9, getting a big dub on Thursday night, but you're getting he's a moneymaker for you.
Right.
Bijan obviously is.
He was huge in this one. He had 8 receptions of his own, 93 yards on the ground, 82 in the air. Had a touchdown.
Monster, bro.
What is it? Kirk Cousins has just been, he just cooks the Buccaneers every time he plays them. It's the weirdest thing, man. He was on fire in this one. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Their O-line's been locking it down for him.
Yeah. For Tampa, no excuse. I mean, the team's healthy, getting healthy. The defense is healthy. You had all your weapons back. Godwin, Abuka, Jalen McMillan, first game of the season.
You had everyone.
Godwin,
back.
Bucky Irving, dude. And it had a 14-point lead. You choke that away.
I completely agree with Todd Bowles post game too. That when you get to this point of the season, it's team led. And like this, it's not like he threw his guys under the bus. But I think there was some execution issues in this game.
Certainly. Dude, Baker's been playing shaky, man. He looks really like jittery.
He hasn't been the best under pressure.
Right. Like you get pressure on him and he just can't read the field anymore. It's a little careless with the football.
To make another video on him.
Yeah.
After that game.
That was one of the things I really disagreed with him on, but it's still he's kind of been vindicated because a lot of their struggles I think are starting at the quarterback position. He wasn't terrible in this one. It was a little inaccurate. 277, 2 touchdowns. Did have a pick, but some of those sacks were really his fault. Like he just ran right into pressure. Good to see Mike Evans back and balling out. Sad that his streak is 1,000 yards is going to end unless he can somehow pull in 300 or not 300, 800 and 728 yards in the last 3 weeks. Don't rule it out, but I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. I like, and then the defense, man, like they just had no answers for Pitts. They had him in 3rd and 28. They let that turn into a 4th and 14, and then they got beat by Davis Sills. Oh.
What
was that?
Oh, I don't know.
All right, cool. Yeah, they got beat by Davis Sills on 4th and 14. They really weren't getting after Cousins at all. Like he was sitting back there with a lot of time.
He only took 1 sack. That's the way you got to get after Kirk Cousins, is to just bang him up a little bit, because it starts to really affect him as the game wears on.
Right.
And those bigger throws, he's not going to be able to make them.
And they really didn't like push the ball downfield. Like their longest play was a 36-yard pass to Kyle Pitts. So they didn't even have a single play go over 40 yards. I mean, like I'm looking at they didn't really get any kick returns. Not like any big punt returns. That didn't happen in this one. It's just long, sustained drives. The Bucs couldn't get off the field and couldn't stop them when they mattered the most.
Yeah, it was. It's been a rough end to the year for the NFC South, at least the division leaders. The Falcons and Saints just playing spoiler and making the 4 seed look awful. Like the discourse at the end of the year is going to be the NFC South winner was so bad that it should have just been somebody else. And they're going to, the Panthers, I got better hope of them winning a home playoff game than the Bucs do right now.
Right.
They lost to a 2-win team at home and then a 4-win team at home, back to back, both division games too. That doesn't fare well for the playoffs in any sort of way.
They were 6-1, I believe, at one point. They were 5-1. Then they were 6-2 after they beat the
3 straight.
After they beat the Saints. And then since that moment, they have won, but they've lost 5 out of their last 6. Their only win coming against the Cardinals. They
and
were
only
crushed.
a 3-point win.
Yeah, I mean
against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Their upcoming schedule is what really is going to scare the fans, because it's 3 weeks where the Panthers and the Bucs are going to be battling for first place in the NFC South.
Legit,
they
feel
go
like
to
that.
Carolina, got the Dolphins, and then they finish it out at home against Carolina. Can they close out the series?
Legit be like a split series.
If they split it, they got to win that game in between. They got to win in Miami.
So,
because
can Carolina clinch if they beat the Buccaneers? Because I think they've got a little bit of a better division record. Because the Bucs only
the
division
Bucs
wins.
lost this week, so I think they can still clinch.
Yeah.
So the Bucs pretty much got to win out.
Man,
they got to be 10-7, win the division.
Absolute.
Which 10-7 division winner.
Absolute collapse, man. I do think, Bulls is right. There is some execution issues, but I think some of that also comes on him. It's just
where was your pressure? Where was your mixed up coverages?
Right. You just weren't getting after, 38-year-old quarterback that's limited on his mobility, and one guy was killing you all night, and you just. You're supposed to be some defensive mastermind. It's dude, we just can't not gonna try to bracket him or something. They don't have Drake London. Try to make Kirk Cousins go somewhere else with the football.
Yeah, I don't think.
But then when they did, they let Davis Sills beat them, man. I was
yeah,
come on, then that's where it's the execution. It's okay, come on, dude, you're letting this third string tight end essentially. Or is he a receiver? I don't even know what he I
think he's a tight end.
He's right in that middle ground where he's is he a big receiver or a small tight end? I can't tell.
Yeah, it's really rough. This division winner of the NFC South is just probably going to get smacked in the first round.
It's going to be Seattle or San Francisco, 95% chance it's one of those two. So that's going to be. It
seems like a winnable game. Either of those teams against the Bucs or Panthers.
That feels like it could be a massacre.
Yeah.
I'm going to flash us over to Monday Night Football here. with the Miami Dolphins taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And yeah, man, Steelers are instilling a little confidence in me. I mean, the defense is looking good. They were getting after Tua, who was holding on to the ball way too long. Like he just wouldn't release it. And they do have a very tough final stretch of Detroit, Cleveland, and Baltimore, with 2 of those games being on the road in Detroit and Cleveland.
This was probably their best game of the year.
I would say so. Yeah, this was, I mean, so complete.
They got the most active on the run that we've seen them all year.
I'm just surprised. Like, why isn't Gainwell?
Passing game.
Why has he not been the number one back? I feel like when he gets the most carries this year, like that's when they've looked the best. And obviously, they found him for 7 receptions. Like why is it's the Arthur Smith thing where it's like you've got this guy who's very effective. Why aren't you using him? What is the decision here?
Yep.
And
it's like they are using him because he got 13 carries and 7 receptions, but it's like they could have been doing this all year long.
Right. Like
where was this all year?
Some of their better performances on offense, like Kenneth Gainwell's just been heavily involved in it. Then Rodgers, man, he was just pinpoint, dude. He was just picking them apart. His quick throws. He caught Miami in a procedural issue, got them with like 12 guys on the field and like 3rd and short. And so
got the penalty.
Got penalty yardage, got the first down. Then Tua, the stats don't look terrible when you look at the final box score. A lot of this was garbage time stuff. He took some bad sacks, dude. He just held onto the ball too long. Jalen Ramsey safety blitz was, he just lit Tua up. They picked him off one time. They got 4 sacks in this one. I mean, they were getting some pressure without TJ Watt. So, I mean, imagine like he comes back. That'll be big for their team. Don't quite remember the severity of his injury. I like that they're trying to get Darnell Washington involved. I don't know. You know, it's the Dolphins. So, yeah, it looked impressive. I want to see, even if they lose to the Lions, can it look this impressive again? That's a better defensive unit. Can the offense, the past 2 weeks, they've looked pretty good. Rodgers he's been
solid,
on point, flashing. He's looking like he's turning back the clock a little bit here. I think, get Gainwell involved heavily. If you can run for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns, you'll be A-okay. Try to scheme DK open a little bit, because I mean, like he's getting bracketed a lot. Some other guys are kind of becoming threats, so it's helping open up DK a little bit. I mean, that touchdown where he just flung Jalen Ramsey like he was a stuffed, or not Jalen Ramsey, Minka Fitzpatrick, like he was a stuffed animal.
Huge.
And I was like, that's what Steelers fans have been looking for, and it's like but teams aren't really threatened by a lot of the other options. So DK is he's bracketed, double teamed all game.
They did a good job at least of mixing it up and getting everybody involved. Even Jalen Warren had 3 receptions. Jonnu Smith got a couple.
I guess so. I'm bringing it back to that touchdown, because another thing, the arm strength of Rodgers, dude, it's crazy that he's still got that much zip on the ball.
Yeah, he can still throw the ball 70 yards.
Because he zinged that in there to DK, and he totally did not see that safety in the middle of the field who was like inches away from cutting it off and swatting that ball down. If he wasn't able to throw that, like if Phillip Rivers threw that honestly might have been an interception because they're giving that DB plenty of time to close on the ball. And then some other guys without that arm strength, they would have at least been an incompletion. But Rodgers, that's a completion, and then your number one wide receiver turned it into a touchdown, just being bigger and stronger than everyone. So that's where like Pittsburgh, if they can play their brand of football, if they can drag you into that, they'll be tough to beat. Like just big, like physical smash mouth football, and then Rodgers can frustrates you with that quick passing game. They run the ball well. They got a chance. But they don't like the consistency that I've seen them do it with makes me really doubtful, because I'm like, either against like a team like the Jets, okay, or the Ravens don't have the greatest offense. The Dolphins don't have the greatest offense. You kind of got like creamed by the Bills. You struggled to stop the Bears on defense. The Packers ran all over you. The Chargers were able to outmuscle you in that game. So it's been a good 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I don't even think they need to necessarily win against the Lions, but I think they got to look competitive.
It's got to be a pretty.
I just don't want to see them get blown out like they did against Buffalo to feel some confidence. Now the Dolphins, they're eliminated. Caveman, theories on Tua and Mike McDaniels. Where are those guys heading?
I feel like they might fire McDaniel only because I think Tua's definitely kind of played himself into a starting role on this team. Still, it's like despite holding on to the ball for too long, he was still 22 of 28, had 2 touchdowns. Like they just need to find something where they can clean up his accuracy. I mean, there's not really many injuries on that offense to where they should be this bad.
No,
they should be competing with the Patriots and the Bills right now. They have Devon Achane healthy, and he's been getting going. He's been a fantasy monster in PPR.
Yeah.
They still have Jalen Waddle, who they can easily develop to be their number 1 guy. They got Darren Waddle, who's been having a surprisingly good season coming out of retirement for him. Like their offense should not be as crappy as it is.
See, that's where I disagree with you. I think McDaniel probably deserves to stay more. If you were going I'm not a big fan of Anthony Weaver and how he's called defense all year. There have been some good moments, but I think he's just missed. He hasn't really played to a lot of his guys' strengths, and yet he's given some pretty. His looks aren't super complicated and they can be easy to read at times. Well, I think the reason the Dolphins have struggled to win games and why their offense has disappeared at time, I think it's Tua. He just doesn't seem like he's reading the field as well. He's not his thing is he has to be decisive. It's timing, it's throwing the ball quickly, and in rhythm with anticipation, and he's just not doing it to nearly the level that we've seen from him in years past. It's like the game's kind of left him, man. But also, I would just, if I was Miami, I would try to clean slate this. I don't know what Tua's contract situation is. I know he's on a big contract, so he's kind of
got a big deal.
He scammed them out of $212 million, and now he's just hanging out in Miami, Florida, making millions of dollars. Not a bad gig if you. I would probably still fire McDaniel and try to fresh start it, try to get a new quarterback in here, and see what I can do about keeping Tyreek Hill. And I'm using, my where I'm drafting to try to get an elite defensive player. Because I think you're fine on the offensive side of the ball. You just need somebody on. You need some more playmakers on defense, especially now that Jalen Phillips
You lost him.
Is gone, yeah.
On in the trade deadline.
All right.
It's hard because they don't have a lot of people that they could really think about extending.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess clean slate, I feel like, is kind of the way to go.
All right, moving on here. Do want to give us plenty of time to do our breakdowns on our squad. Do you want to start with the Saints, or you want me to go first with the Broncos?
I'll go with the Saints. I'll go with the Saints, dude.
Let's do it.
Because this, every week I could come in here and say that we played our best game of the year. It's pretty awesome just watching this team slowly and improve and get better as a unit. We got some mishaps still. Like Cesar Ruiz has been the major downfall this year. He got injured a lot. I don't think he's ever really got to full health, and he's still going out there starting. There was a few plays where he would instantly get beat in a one-on-one against a defensive tackle at right guard. And that interior defensive lineman breaking the pocket would completely just end the play, where Shough couldn't even step up, couldn't escape outside because the edges were being contained by the DNs. There were certain plays where he really was having a down game. But it's been a tough year for him. It's been a really tough year for him. Been injured. A lot of our offensive line guys have been in and out. So I'm still happy with the performance. An all-around game where we rallied late, made big stops, stuffing them on fourth down, never missing any opportunities in the red zone either. When we got into field goal range, where we got close enough to score a touchdown, we made the right moves. We were 100% in the red zone in this game after having one of the worst in recent history. Well, that was really surprising to see. Another shout out to the defense, though. Our young guys are stepping up, dude. There are so many young players mixed in with our older veterans like Cam Jordan and Demario Davis. Most of our guys are really young. Kool-Aid, Jordan Howden, second, third year guys. Sanker is a rookie starting. Quincy Riley is a rookie starting. Danny Stutzman is a rookie getting some rotational time at linebacker. We got a really young team. Let's say our biggest veterans are on our defensive line.
I think Brandon Staley, that was a pretty good hire for you guys. I mean,
he's been solid, dude.
You guys jumped up from being like, bottom 3 in like all the major defensive statistical categories, like points per game, yards allowed, turnover margin, all that. And it's, jumped up to like just major improvements to being like around like 14th, 13th, 12th, right around really those good areas. Like, I mean, that's a massive improvement.
It went under the radar because of our offensive struggles so early on. Like our red zone inefficiency and like lack of execution with just penalties, anything, getting a successful offensive drive. Like we weren't able to do that early in the year, and it kind of just held our defense back. But now,
still would like to see some more in the running game, like another game where like the QB is the leading rusher,
back-to-back
32 yards. Yeah,
we're going deep in the bag. We got Audric Estime and Evan Hull out there getting carries, man.
I like Devin Neal. I think he can be solid for you guys.
This game, I think we didn't run the ball a lot, just for the simple fact of putting the game on Tyler Shough's shoulders. I think him being the leading rusher and having the most carries in this game, and with his passing stats, we put it on his shoulders to go and win this game and lead the offense to get the dub.
I mean,
because we were down 17-7 in the third quarter. Kick the field goal to end the third, make it a 13-17 game. And we hold him scoreless for the fourth, and he gets a game-winning drive. Back-to-back scoring drives to finish out the game for Tyler Shough. We put the team on his back in a moment where we had to have our quarterback's arm and our quarterback's leg solve all of our issues and win the game. Dude, Tyler Shough did it.
Right. He's not afraid of the moment, man. He steps up and embraces it. He makes big plays when it matters. He was good protecting the football in this game. Found Olave. Really, like, that was a really nice throw, just with some speed in there on the slant. Gave Olave those strong hands, a chance to catch it and just break inside. Was basically an unguardable play right there.
Right there, stand and deliver from the backyard out to Vele. That was a huge third down throw too, to get us out deep in our own territory.
I mean, look, dude, he's outplayed Bryce Young in both of the games that these teams have had. Like he was, I don't remember his stat line in the first one, but this one he was 24-32. So I mean, pretty accurate. He's not a lot of washout plays where he's throwing an incompletion. 272 yards, a touchdown, 32 rushing yards, man. Like this guy's,
he's been solid, dude.
I gotta admit, I think I was wrong about that being a wasted pick. I mean, he's the more I see him, like this guy's got some juice. He's got some competitive spirit to him. I think the big thing for him will just be like, can he stay healthy? I don't like that he took that major shot there. I mean, that was kind of a dirty play. That's not much he can do. Like he was trying to slide.
Oh, he sold that. He sold that, HG. Yeah, I got to find a slow-mo replay of that play. He was selling that like The Rock, taking a body slam.
That's probably a bad comparison
because
saying that The Rock is a good actor, man. Let's.
Well, I mean, he wasn't really a good actor on this play. He literally rolled over on his side with his arms flailed in the air, and you could see him from the camera angle. He like did a scream. But if you watch the slow-mo replay, it was just shoulder to shoulder impact, and he really didn't even hit him that hard. But you can't hit the quarterback when they initiate the slide, so that's a penalty.
I mean,
Shough just punished them even more by flopping.
Yeah. I mean, they were probably going to call that regardless, but Shough just really
he added to it, and then all the offensive linemen were like, "Yo, what are you doing?" We sold that. We sold that for the game. That's putting the team on your back in the clutchest moments. Under 20 seconds left in the game. We call a QB draw up the middle with Shough. The boy slides in the face of 3 defenders, takes the penalty in the dive. Charlie Smith knocks down the game winner. 2 seconds in regulation. We don't win that game in regulation if Tyler Shough doesn't make that play on the QB draw. And Kellen Moore, having the trust in his quarterback and the trust in his player to make that call under 20 seconds left, he wasn't even thinking about putting the ball in Olave's hands. Let's give it to Tyler Shough. I love that mentality. This is actually really fun to watch.
Of all the teams with double-digit losses right now, I think I feel the most optimistic about what they could be next year with the Saints.
Am I right?
A weak division too that just does not. That's got teams that are struggling, like teams with more talent that could have a similar record or near, still be near the same win total as the Saints. I mean, the Saints have 3 really winnable games to finish the year, and the Jets, Titans, and Falcons. 3 super winnable games. They could be 7-10, still probably be a top 10, top 15 picking team. I'm thinking of all the other teams with 10 losses here. You got the Jets. I mean, there's a huge hole there. I don't know that how they're gonna, there's a quarterback issue. They're depleted on defense. Is Garrett Wilson or Breece Hall, are they gonna want to stay there? I mean, the Bengals, is Joe Burrow, what's his future looking like? You still have a lot of issues on your O-line and defense. Like the Browns, again, just tons of talent deficiencies on offense. Tennessee has a long way to go building that roster. Vegas, your coaching staff you're going to have to do a complete overhaul on that. You desperately need a quarterback. Is Max Crosby is he going to be looking for a trade?
You want to replace Cam Jordan, Mac?
Yeah.
Come on down.
The Commanders, I think, are tied with the Saints, and where I feel optimism for the future. They just got banged up, tougher schedule. Obviously, they still got tons of talented players. I think they just need to get a little more youth on the defensive side of the ball, work on that secondary a little bit. The Giants, again, they just got hurt. They got the quarterback. They got to find the head coach. But I think that plenty of talent there if they can just stay healthy and build up the offensive line. So those are probably your Commanders, Giants, and then Saints at number 1 as your like most optimistic 10-loss teams. The Cardinals, again, like I think it'd be just behind them because I think they're really just like a quarterback change away and maybe like a new head coach from being something else. So
it's awesome, dude. Good core of head coaches. I think, dude, all of our coordinators are former head coaches.
Right.
We got our offensive coordinator, Doug Nussmeier, Fresno State head coach for quite some time. Brandon Staley, head coach of the Chargers for a playoff run. Some questionable moves made, but he's been awesome.
I think
our defensive coordinator,
having
Kellen Moore, just won a Super Bowl.
Former head coaches as coordinators really helps when you have a first-time head coach. And like you look at the really successful teams have like a very offensive-minded head coach with a former head coach, a defensive coordinator. And so, I mean, it's almost like having, I mean, it really just, it takes a lot of stress away because you basically have another head coach for the one side of the ball that you're not as good with. Yep. And that guy, you can trust him to just make all the calls in that situation. And then you and your OC can really get creative. And you can trust like this guy that's got some experience leading teams to just lead really one side of the ball. And I think it really opens up what teams can do.
It's been fun.
Yeah. So
last 2 weeks of Saints football have been insane. If we got time at the end of the show, I'll show you guys some fan reactions on one of my favorite other podcasts, Hold the Mayo. He's got his Reaction Monday show. It lets people call in. You got some insane Saints fans calling in. And we're 4-10. The city sounds like they're behind Shough and like they're behind this young core of rookies.
I feel optimistic, man. I really
very impactful draft class. I'm loving this.
Before we jump over to the Broncos, I just want to throw this out there. See that, like, test the waters. How everyone's feeling. Year 3 of the Bryce Young experience. Depending on how this season ends, what do we think?
It's tough because this
is he. I think he's got like one more year on his rookie contract. So like, I think they probably bring him back. They don't offer him an extension right now, and like next year is to prove it because there's been some flashes in the pan. And obviously, I don't think like we thought the Panthers would be. This is kind of the season I expected out of Carolina. Competitive, fringe playoff team potentially, but definitely not like anywhere near a contender level. I think they bring him back, but then like he's gonna have one more year to prove it, or Carolina moves on. What are your thoughts?
I kind of agree with you. I think on that contract year, coming around this point next season, I think is probably what we're going to find out because we're at around that extension deadline, which was one of the last things I wanted to point for the Saints. We got to get CO. We got to get 12 signed on an extension before we lose our entire receiving core and we leave it up. We're going to have to pick a first-round receiver if we lose CO. We release Cooks, traded Rashid. We got Devon Vele if we lose Chris Olave. And he's really been proving himself as our wide receiver 1 this year.
I'm sure the Broncos will probably waive little Jordan Humphrey in the offseason. You guys can pick him up.
Wasn't he on our team before?
He was, yeah. He was with there. Sean Payton was there for a little bit. Sean Payton loves this dude, man, because he was on the Giants for a lot of this year. Then they cut him, and Sean was like, "Get that man on my team." And he had a good game, caught a touchdown pass.
That's a solid segue into the Broncos
against the Packers, man. Yeah, he was 3 balls for 42 yards, touchdown. He's a solid blocker out there as a wide receiver. I think that's why Sean Payton likes him. He's just big and like good. He's good blocking as a wide receiver.
That's how you earn touches with Sean Payton, man. Yeah. You gotta block and just do your job. You'll get the ball.
I'll say this was a tale of 2 halves. Like I said, the Broncos defense was getting carved up. I think Jordan Love had like 212 yards in the touchdown going into halftime in the first half. He was really, they were doing what they want. Josh Jacobs always goes crazy against us. He had 73 yards rushing the touchdown. and he mossed Dre Greenlaw, dude. This is a guy who is on pace to break like an NFL record for receptions without a touchdown in his career. He finally got one last year. So, like, not a guy that catches a lot of receiving touchdowns. And the second ever is him just mossing one of the better coverage linebackers in the NFL.
Basically,
I don't know what
him to go up and moss him.
I don't know what Dre Greenlaw could have done better. Dude, he even got his arm in between Josh Jacobs' arms, and Jacobs held on to the ball with toe tapped on like the sideline, kept the feet in. Just it was ridiculous, man.
This game, really, the whole game kind of had me on my toes.
Dude, it was
this game.
It's a good back and forth.
So I had so many fantasy football implications. I didn't start RJ Harvey. I started Bucky Irving. If I started RJ Harvey, I don't even have to sweat this playoff game. I move on fine.
Yeah. And Jimmy, he was like all Packers players. So, Love was looking really good to start.
He was killing me in the first half.
Jacobs.
He had Christian Watson too.
Yeah, Jacobs with 2 touchdowns. Watson had a couple big catches. And then it really changed.
Defense, so
the Packers
with 10 points.
They got up by 9, right? And they had the lead at halftime. The opening drive, suspect call on Riley Moss that then led to a 40-yard touchdown run by Josh Jacobs. And then all of a sudden the Broncos are down 9. They go 3 and out. Green Bay gets the ball back, and I think at this point they're starting to feel themselves, and they decide to go for a deep shot on first down. Christian Watson, good deep ball threat, big receiver. I wouldn't try him though if he's one-on-one with Pat Surtain, but Jordan Love did it, and Surtain picked off the ball. Watson gets hurt, and then from that point on, the Broncos outscored the Packers 20-3. And Bo Nix absolutely locked. I mean, he was already having a good game at that point. He had thrown 2 touchdown passes.
He was keeping you guys in it.
Yeah, he was keeping us in it. He got the pick, immediately led them down the field for another touchdown drive here. This is the one he hit Cortland Sutton on just a bit. Like, Sutton was cooking the Packers DBs too, man. Like, he got him in a one-on-one, man. He just hit him with this little stutter step up, then quick move up the field, dude. It was so good to watch. And then Nick's putting his balls in like the perfect spot, kind of laying it out for Sutton. And the connection there, the strong hands, hit him on some big fourth down situations as well. But also like Bo Nix's ability to extend plays, man, because the Packers were coming after him and they were getting good pressure, man. Like Micah Parsons was chasing after Bo Nix all game. And despite that, Bo Nix didn't get sacked once. His ability to extend and create plays, we saw it to that on the Michael Bandy touchdown. We saw some big conversions. I mean, one time he just like kind of hit a little stutter to get Parsons, which unfortunately, like Parsons tried to plant and cut, and that's when that injury occurred. And I think he was just going after Bo Nix so hard that game, trying to get him, and just overexerted a little bit. And that was a tough one to see.
That was really hard injury, man.
Yeah, because I mean, even if like with the loss, like I think Green Bay could still be a Super Bowl contender, fully healthy, and they're still a good team. Like this will still be a team to be reckoned with, but they're going to be missing just a big part of that defense and their ability to get pressure. Micah was playing so well late in the season, man. So that sucked to see. You really didn't want to see that.
Their defense really flipped the switch, man. At the end of the year, 7 injuries is brutal in one game.
Yeah, losing Zach Tom too. Then Denver was just he started teeing off on Jordan Love. Ended up getting 3 sacks after that happened. RJ Harvey getting his 10th touchdown of the season, but I think this was, man, I don't know, maybe Bo Nix's best game as a pro. got the victory against the top 10 defense, 302 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was great when he was standing back there in the pocket and just ripping it. I mean, 3 of his touchdown passes came just him hitting the top of his drop after
Good
reading the
wide base
defense.
in the pocket.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to point out, is that this was a game where he really silenced a lot of those people on his footwork. He definitely made a point in the season to work on that, because he had a real good wide base and just delivered the ball with accuracy and velocity.
I think the happy feet are coming down. And while he's still scrambling and rolling out and moving when there's pressure, I think he's being he's getting better about like not doing it early or bailing but too early on the play. And he's standing in the pocket before, like, until he absolutely has to get out there, you know? I think he's just been a lot more on point these past 2 weeks. The completion percentage is going up. The yardage is going up. He's throwing touchdowns. This offense is looking a whole lot more efficient moving the football. Harvey's banged up, and so I'm a little worried. That's what I'm worried about, is like how healthy he's going to be. A team that's already kind of struggling to run the football without J.K. Dobbins, who's done for the year. That'll be tough. Like, that'll be a big loss if we don't have Harvey down the stretch, because it's already been tough to run the football without JK back there. But this, like, I'm just kind of being nitpicky. I mean, like they're a little one-dimensional, and this one didn't run the ball a lot, but it was working because Nix was he was all over. They made me nervous with a couple of like drops late and some tip passes that almost turned into takeaways there. But ultimately, it was the Packers dropping the pass that went to Riley Moss, who got his second career interception. And then again, Sean Payton, there were some situations in decision making where I'm like, why not kick a field goal here? Why not? You know, he went for 2 when we could have just kicked the extra point and been up 9. I mean, like, if you go up 10 versus up 9, I mean, it's still a 2-possession game. The touchdown and the field goal, regardless. That was a bit of a head scratcher. Going for the midfield to try to clinch the game. I can praise the aggressiveness, and ultimately it ended up costing us, because our defense was, like I said, they were shutting down the Packers really in the second half there, and they were getting great pressure on Love in the second half. So like, I can understand like being like, you know what, I trust the guys. I would have still just, like, they were out of timeouts, I would have probably just tried to punt it and pin them deep. So, but I mean, that's Sean Payton. You know, I was a little angry at him early in the year for being too conservative at times. So I'm glad that he's like, I'm all right seeing some aggressiveness. I just would like it to be, maybe a little more situationally sound or in less dire situations, I guess.
I really don't think the season is over for the Packers, though, man. Because think about it. This is a huge game coming up on primetime against the Bears. But they've already swept the Lions, and the Minnesota Vikings are out of the playoff picture at 6-8. They have a chance to also sweep them.
Oh, that game's on Saturday. That's kind of interesting.
Split the series with the Bears Saturday night, primetime. And then you got another huge primetime game against the Ravens, who've been having some offensive struggles. So you may be able to find some success in that game without Parsons. Some things to move forward on in the future. And then you got your final game at Vikings to sweep them. You still got, I'm going to say it, man, Jordan Love, top 5 quarterback this year.
I think Watson, the injury is not serious, so he should be back.
And they lost him for a majority of the year, and they're 9-4.
Like, and he definitely, like, the offense is definitely better with him in there, for sure. But it was still, they were still pretty effective for the most part. There were definitely some struggle games without him there, and then they were really on fire once he got back into the lineup. So I think like I don't quite remember the severity of it. Let me see if they got it like how many times. Maybe we see might be out. I mean, he's questionable, so
He really could be back.
they said it's not believed he did not suffer a major injury. That's according to Ian Rappaport. So I mean, maybe he misses next week, but he could probably I think he'll probably be back before the regular season ends anyways. And that'll be big for them. So I think the secondary is still playing pretty well overall for the Packers. There might be a little tougher for them because obviously it's going to be tougher to rush the passer. It's just going to be difficult. They still got some good like Van Ness, Rashawn Gary, like those guys. See if they can step up. And what's their D coordinator? Jeff Halfley.
Yeah.
Like we'll probably see like he's just gonna have to get into his bag and get some more exotic looks and pressures. But the Packers will still be a force to be reckoned with by like that.
They
doubt.
Control their own fate now with the remaining games on their schedule.
Right. Like Parsons hurts, but this is a team that can still definitely come away. They can still win games.
Because the Bears' final schedule, the Packers realistically could still win the North. Because the Bears have upcoming Saturday game in Green Bay. Or no, it's
in Chicago.
It's in Chicago. Then they got to go another team with back-to-back primetime games. Then they go to SoFi, play the Niners. And then your final game of the season is home against the Lions. 3 games that the Chicago Bears could lose.
Yeah.
The Packers realistically still have a chance to win this division.
They do. It'll be interesting to see who comes out of it down the stretch here. Certainly they'll need some help, I think, which is certainly not the situation you want to be in, but they'll even as a wild card. I mean, that'd be a tough matchup for whoever the 2 seed is, which could be the NFC North leader, most likely. So then, I mean, you're like playing, like you could be playing the Bears again. And like, that's, even if that series is split, the Packers experience and just head-to-head historic success against the Bears could be big. Or like, what if you get the Eagles again, in the North or from the East, like that'll be like the Eagles have a lot of vulnerabilities, and I still think they're going to just end up winning their division because it's been super weak this year. So I would by no means write off the Green Bay Packers. All right, we got probably time for 1, maybe 2 more games. We'll probably have to get to some of these other ones tomorrow. We could go Cowboys season getting ended. Caveman, we got Rams, Lions, and that shootout thriller, or the Bills coming back for a big victory.
Let's go to the Bills game.
I like that. That was a fantastic early window matchup there.
That was awesome.
I mean, really some high level play out of Josh Allen. I think Drake May was good early in this one. He had 2 rushing touchdowns in this one. Heavy emphasis on running the football from New England. They ran the ball 25 times for 246 yards. This is what happened. Giving Travion Henderson the football, man. Like, this is what you could have been having all year instead of Ramondre Stevenson fumbling 28 times. 2 50-plus yard touchdown runs in this one. And I mean, like, one of them, it was a play that started going to the right side of the field.
Completely cut it back and outran everyone.
Yeah, the Bills were all over it, and he just cut it back. Drake May runs down there, gets him a lead block, and that was to get the lead back, go up 31-28 after the Bills had come out and scored 21 unanswered to go up 28-24. But then Buffalo got got a nice late drive going late in the fourth. James Cook ran it into the end zone. Big game for the Bills on the ground too. I mean, they ran the ball 37 times. Didn't have as much explosive runs as the Patriots, but they were really grinding it out. James Cook, 22 carries for 107. That's going to just be big for them. He's going to have to get the ball a lot. 2 touchdowns on the ground. Josh Allen making some good plays with his legs. 3 passing touchdowns. Only 193 yards, but he was really efficient with the football. 1923 did have more passing yards than Drake May, who only had 155. The defense, which has been really good for the Patriots all year, but I mean, they were facing a really elite offense that's been playing some great football the past few weeks. You ain't playing the Browns or the Titans offenses anymore. This is Josh Allen. Those early season struggles, I think, for the most part, are behind Buffalo.
This is where they start to get even better.
Yeah. They could still win the division. If they win the division, they're definitely my favorite to come out of the AFC.
Oh yeah.
I like my Broncos, but I mean, no Mahomes in his way. They're probably, I don't even know if the Ravens are going to make it. There's a hungry Bills team. And Josh Allen is playing at an elite level. He's a playoff riser. We only know he's going to go up in the playoffs. Even though he hasn't had the postseason success, he hasn't been able to get past the Chiefs. Josh Allen, I just can't put any of the Bills' postseason failures really on him, except for anything post 2001. He was still a little raw as a prospect, as a QB. Wasn't that great in the postseason, but once he hit his stride and his game got refined, none of their postseason losses have really been on him.
Yeah, because early in his career, it was the issue of just turning the ball over. Now,
and inaccuracy, the arm strength was there, but the touch wasn't. Now
he's got ball placement. He knows exactly where to find his guys open. Yeah, this is really the team now, man. You got gonna probably have no Burrow, no Lamar, no Mahomes in your way. It's gonna be Drake May and Bo Nix got to step it up if they want to take.
They're gonna have to try to stop Josh Allen.
That's gonna be the guy. He's gonna be the one to beat in this AFC playoff picture.
I definitely don't want the Broncos to slink back to the 3 seed, man, or to the 2 seed, because I think Buffalo will probably be your 5 seed. I think about it. They're 10-4. I think they're ahead of the Chargers technically in the standings. So, yeah, if I'm Pittsburgh, I don't want this squad I think Pittsburgh, if they got LA round 1, potentially Houston, because they could turn that into a defensive battle. We already saw what happened when they went up against Buffalo. Buffalo just straight ran them into submission on their own turf. Yeah. They were in the same play dang near 30 times, and they couldn't stop it at all. And I think the Bills' defense, I'd like to see them give up less explosives, but they in turn they're generating some takeaways. I think they had 2 takeaways in this one, interception and the fumble. And they're just making some big plays and some big moments, and giving Josh Allen a chance to just, keep them just close enough to where you can let Josh Allen put on the Superman cape and get you in there. And that's, if they can just generate some splash turnovers or something in the postseason too, this will be a tough team to beat. I'm really liking Maxwell Harrison, what I'm seeing out of him. Matt Milano, if he can get in there and stay healthy. And I think their secondary is starting to get healthy at the right time.
It's starting to lock it in. No, it was a rough first half, but the turnaround, that's 7 points in the second half.
And I think
for the Patriots,
this isn't a crazy thing to say though, but Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the NFL, and I think he has been for the past couple of years. Yeah, no, Mahomes has got the more postseason success and everything, but the Bills, despite not really even after losing Diggs and not having the weapons, are consistently a top offense in the league. Allen consistently racks up tons of touchdowns and yardage through the air and on the ground. So I think he's probably been the best QB in the league for a number of years. I think Stafford is having the better season, but what Allen can do for you with his legs and then his arm is just overall more of an asset to have here. All right, man. Got about
successful.
1 minute left here.
Can I point out one fact?
Yeah, go for it.
That since Archie Manning's 3-5-1 record as a rookie, Tyler Shough at 3 wins, 3 losses, pretty much needs one more win to completely secure it as the best rookie quarterback in Saints franchise history in the smallest sample size.
Dang.
Beautiful.
All right, dude.
Beautiful.
Let's go.
Beautiful.
All right, we're going to have to wrap up the show there. At this point, we got to do our sign off. Don't worry. We'll carve out some time to talk Chiefs, Chargers, and Lions, Rams as well, and give a shout out to the Giants and Commanders. Plus, tons of NBA and college basketball action. NHL season going good. Jokic Sengun had an awesome duel last night, and we got the NBA Cup tonight, so we'll have a breakdown of everything that went down in that game. Until next time, HG Caveman on the mics. We will see you for another edition till the final whistle here on Military Broadcast Radio. Take it easy, everyone.
Bye.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm, and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25, and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.